doing, guys? All good? Evening. Everybody's doing well. Vlad, how you doing, mate? Nice and early. Like to see it. Alan. Making dinner. Nice. Steve, how you doing, mate? Maz, good evening, everyone. Lovely moon here in Cornwall. Oh, in Cornwall. That's where I'm from. Whereabouts in Cornwall are you? I tend to get down there, like, what, a couple of times a year? Maybe once a year, get down there to see the folks at Christmas time, something like that. Cornwall's pretty slow. Not much in terms of work, but like beautiful when the sun shines. Can be pretty miserable when it's wet though. Not a huge amount to do. Yeah. Is it a full moon tonight then? Is it? Oh, just going over this. Let's get this sorted. Yeah, who else is in here tonight? Let's have a look. What else we got? Jimmy's currently doing commercial retouching work and prepping for my return for 2 days of shooting in Cardiff. That's what I'm doing. That's about it. You're working there, mate. That's good. Currently doing some commercial retouching work. So, what are you? Is it people like portraits? Like what are you doing? Yeah, or is it like retouching still life and stuff? Oh, it's a blood moon tonight, is it? Okay. What makes it a blood moon then? Was there any particular reason? Andre, mate, how you doing? I see you. Nice. Got you on the big screen tonight here in California. Nice, mate. Nice. I appreciate that. Playing with some files from my new crop camera. Oh, okay, what camera are you using, Vlad? What do you got? What have you got over there? I don't remember. Maybe you told me, or is it an older one, or just is it something you've been playing with? Yeah. But yeah, welcome. The early adopters, frontline crew in here tonight. Like to see a product, transparent perfume bottles. Oh, mate. Oh, shit. That's tough. That's a tough one, my guy. Woof. Yeah, reflective surfaces. Oh, man. Do you know what? I think I'd prefer skin retouching. Like just anything, just any little thing on bottles and that sort of stuff, like watches. And I think I remember seeing somebody retouching a watch or something like that, and it's just like you're no longer a photographer. You're just qualifying to be a serial killer. Really, like that's the level of obsessed you need to be to retouch still life at that level is wild. I mean, heaven forbid it was shot on like large format or even medium format. One thing I'm noticing with the GFX is just the amount of extra retouching time. It's crazy. There's a lot. Like there's a lot of extra retouching. Like the Nikon hides so much. The GFX not so polite. Yeah. Earth passes in front of the sun. Okay. So not like a eclipse or like the corona thing or something like that where we get changing my energy tariff just now to avoid the spike in gas and oil prices. Oh, Sin, you're saying you're changing your energy company, right? I thought you were like, yeah, guys, I'm just trying to get in the right mindset right now. Just want to focus on myself, just making sure that everything is in the right place. No, you're changing your energy company. I'm with you. I should have read the name first before I read the comment. That would have completely ruled out any chi changing ideas I had. Vlad says, got a little ZVE10 yesterday. Okay, it's a vlogger camera, but it's fun. Oh, what is ZVE10 yesterday? What the hell is? I'm about to Google this, Vlad. I've never heard of that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Sony one, highly popular mirrorless interchangeable lens camera, vlogging and content creation features 24 megapixels. Okay, okay. What did you get that for? Was you just like wanted like another one, like another camera, something else for vlogging you whilst you're shooting with your main camera? Yeah. It's amazing, and yet full moon, so it looks like I'm near Liskeard and Let's Have Coffee. I'm not in Cornwall at the moment. I'm afraid, man. I haven't been there. Yeah, I'm up just outside London here at the moment. But yeah, I get down there. Like I said, like once a year. I think I left when I was 18. So actually, think about it. I've been away longer than I've been there, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it's a beautiful part of the world. It really is. When the sun's shining, yeah, there's nowhere nicer. It really is beautiful. Yeah. The prices are heading off, so Martin Lewis has suggested fixing before the price spike due to the war. Oh, yeah, man, Jesus, yeah, what a mess. Yeah. Peter Gabriel is big on the blood moon thing. Okay. Syndra after petrol station tonight. Diesel per litre. You can tell the Brits are in here tonight. You love to see it, man. Yeah, petrol prices and weather. I mean, the moon, like kind of the weather. Yeah, that's brilliant. Gone up from 8 pence litre past I could hear the expletives coming from my car. Don't be panic buying though. That's what we were told. Yeah. Earth blocks causes shadow on the moon. There you go. Nice links in photography. Okay, yeah. Interesting that it goes red. Huh, crazy. Yeah. I got it from my YouTube stuff. Yeah, it's super impressive how nice it's doing the eye tracking. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's clever. So if you just put it down and you're moving around, like, will it continuously track your eyes? That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Makes me want to sell my A7 III and get something more recent. Impressive. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. We got a lot on tonight, guys. We got a lot to cover. In fact, there's actually a couple of things I had to cut just because we got a bunch I want to kind of get through. But look, you guys are here early, right? You know, you're the real frontline group here. Like you guys are keen, you know, in there, like the real photographers. You know, you guys are the ones, you know, who know what it's about. Like more megapixels, you know, full frame. People who shoot through the viewfinder. You know, real like the real photographers. What lighting do you guys have? This is a serious question. This is like I'm not basing anybody into anything here. This is not a loaded question. What lighting do you guys have? Do you mainly use? Because I'm sure we've all got like one light from 18 different brands or something like that. What lights are you mainly using at the moment? I'm tempted to do a gel lighting workshop coming up, but it like dawned on me that people are going to want to are maybe going to want to shoot flash with that, right? Like, what if I could get away with with doing that gel lighting workshop with LEDs? I suppose I'll have to do flash, but it's been a while. So I was kind of curious as to, like, is everybody shooting nan lights and rot lights, and I suppose the AD200s and that sort of stuff is kind of the mainstream still, right? I don't suppose like people who are shooting that haven't switched over to LEDs. Like those of us who are kind of shooting more in the studio are going to be shooting maybe with LEDs. Yeah, those people who are kind of shooting on the go are still going to be using flash. I take it. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious where we're at with it, just because it's been a couple of years, right? And I'd say 2 years ago, everybody was shooting flash, but it's not like that anymore. Especially new people coming into the industry, right? New people coming into the industry, and I mentioned this before. They're going to have to shoot video, right? You're going to have a young photographer, learning photography at art college or whatever it is today, right? They're going to have to shoot video. Like, I get asked for video. I don't show or advertise or tell anybody that I shoot video. I don't like shooting video. I still get asked for it by clients. So I know for a fact that young people are going to have to shoot video. So what, are young people just buying 2 sets of lights, or are they just kind of making do? I don't think so. I think, young people coming into, I don't think there's anybody young with the greatest respect, I don't think there's anybody young here tonight. But yeah, I just think new people starting off are gonna be buying LEDs. That would be my guess. Yeah, I wonder what they're teaching in colleges and that sort of stuff. Whether they're teaching LEDs in colleges, I don't know. Here we go. Greedy prestations, they claim they can't lower prices because they've kind of advanced a bit. Thing is that they never put them down, right? So they always put them up as soon as they get the chance, but they never put them down again, right? That's the they never do that. So yeah, it's yeah. They love to claim that they don't have any choice. Yet when it comes to the prices coming back down again, yeah, not gonna happen. You I was like 30 seconds delayed. I wasn't even late. I wouldn't even class that as late, Sin. Don't shoot the viewfinder. I'm out. My new camera doesn't. Just don't look. I know you're just trolling, Vlad. I know you, as somebody who cares about the imagery. I know you shoot for the viewfinder. It's fine. Yeah. So Alan, you still shoot flash? Okay. Godox for flash. Nanlite for LED, but rotolight on occasion. You shoot low rate. Okay. So Godox for flash. Steve, what are your if you had to put percentages on it, like how much of your work do you shoot flash and how much do you shoot LED? Like 50-50, or is there more of a split? Yeah. Me, Jam, a long time Norman guy. Do you mean normal or? Leo, how you doing, mate? Newer Cobb LEDs mainly now. So you're shooting mainly LEDs now. So you only got the 80 watts. Okay. Okay, you're shooting at 1/300, so you got one bicolor, so it's not even full color, full power. Yeah, and a few LED tubes here and there. Kind of miss the sharpness from my strobes sometimes, but it's just more practical LEDs. Interesting point. Let me just skip over to the main scene so you guys can see the chat as well. I know you guys can, but anybody watching the VOD. Yeah, so it's interesting you mentioned that, miss the sharpness. So you're referring to like a little bit of movement, right? A little bit of breathing in the image. Am I right? Is that what you're saying? So, shooting at, I'm not sure what shutter speed you're getting away with those 80-watt lights, but probably not 250th. I mean 125 maybe. So what Leo's saying there is that, he's getting a little bit of movement from not only him, but, because image stabilization is one thing, which helps a huge amount, but obviously the model is moving as well. So you got that to think about as well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of fine with that. A little bit of movement. Hasn't really affected me too much. I shoot 125th, always have done, even when I was on flash. And if I want to lean into that movement, then I'll kind of open up a little bit. Yeah. Sin says I'm still using. So you are still using flash heads, Sin. Okay. I have a set of rotolights, but they haven't grown on me. Okay, maybe need to do a workshop. Mixing them would be helpful. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, because I know you have them. So it does seem like a fair few of you here are still shooting flash. Like, nothing wrong with that. I get it. And the points like Leo makes there about the movement is an important one. Yeah. Steve says location flash is 8300. Those little coat cam ones. Those little. Is that what they are? I'm pretty sure they are. Right. Yeah. Yeah, little baby ones, a little bit bigger than Coke cans, but yeah, still the small ones. Yeah. I was looking at 8400, and then the newer Q4, a lot cheaper, and probably something I would go for when waiting for photography show to see both Godox and newer. Oh, really going to be up there, Steve? Yeah, going up there. So the 8400. Is that what you said? Yeah, the 80. You did say that, right? 8400. That's a chonker. That is that's a big boy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so you're going bigger. Okay. The newer Q4. Probably spelled that wrong. Yeah. Oh yeah, that looked good, that little thing, to be fair. Yeah, that look good. Yeah. Good for like you pop a couple in the bag, right? Yeah. So 400 watts, 250 quid, something like that. It's pretty good, man. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I remember these. I haven't actually seen them in the flesh, but they look good though. Yeah. Does anybody here use a bunch of newer stuff? And you know, like the newer, as in the brand newer. Is it any good? Because obviously it's got the look. It's very affordable, right? It's very affordable kit, and you know, Godox used to be very affordable, and it still is. But you know, everybody was kind of very hesitant of Godox back in the day because it was kind of cheaper and that sort of stuff. Newer is cheaper. Is it actually any good though? Like, is it good enough? Does it take away some of the stress of traveling with lights on location and that sort of stuff? You know, if a 300 quid head goes over, it's not the end of the world. If you know, big difference between a $2,000 head falling in the river, right? Yeah, I have never used any newer stuff because they do panels as well, like LED panels. They seem a bit sketchy, but again, I haven't used them. Yeah. So Leo says that's right. He was saying he's using the newer as well up there. Yeah. How are you getting on with the cob LEDs? Yeah. Yeah. And covered. Oh, covered. Andre. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. That's why I had the gels. Yeah, of course you did, Alan. That's true, Alan. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm glad you got them. Okay. Yeah. I use flash all the time, says Andre, but still use tungsten lights. Plus, I have a set of LEDs, so I think I have it all covered. Okay. So you're using tungsten. Okay, so you're yeah, that's old. Yeah, old school. Circumstar 8300 is the bigger brother of the 8100. That's the Coke size you mentioned. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they seem okay. They seem okay. Like, you know, can't argue with the price, right? Yeah, can't argue with the price. Bowen's Quad X 300 cheese maz. Yeah. So you're old school with those things. Yeah, the Bowen's Quad X 3000. Yeah, that's wild. This says the 80 watt newer LEDs are pretty cheaply made. So much so that one died in a shoot. I mean, look. I mean, yeah. These are the compromises that I think we all kind of go into or we should go into the purchasing decision with an open mind, or at least knowing that you know, buying cheap, these things can happen. But newer send replacement, and send replacement. Okay, and I managed to fix a cold solder point and now have 2 working ones. So it was a solder point. Okay, interesting. Okay. Recent newer lights can now have firmware updated to use Godox triggers. That's an interesting point, Steve. I didn't know that. Okay, so if you've got the Godox triggers, you're going to integrate them. Good shout, Steve. Good shout. Interesting. Yeah. It could be. I don't know. It could be. My wife is doing nails upstairs with a big extraction fan, so it could be that. I'll ask you again when it stops, Vlad. So yeah, I don't think, unless it's like an electrical thing, or yeah, there shouldn't be any. Yeah, got no sound on anywhere. Yeah. But yeah, I'll. I think that's what it could be upstairs. It could be vibrating down. Yeah. I'm curious now. So when it stops, I'll ask you again if you can hear it. I have new LEDs. They working just fine. No issue so far. Okay. Yes, you got to use the new ones. My current kit, Godox 8600, 8400 to. Okay. Use them mostly for video or the tungsten. Yeah, I mean, for the power, right? Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of people like with the newers and Godox in here. So you know, a lot of people saving their pennies. I respect it. You know, if it works, right? If it works. Yeah. I do find it funny. Look, because you guys know that I'm the opposite, right? I don't spend any money on camera kit. It's like I just have all the lighting, right? And that's kind of where I see the most value. But the general consensus is certainly to keep buying a new camera every couple of years and keep buying new lenses and then spend 40 quid on a couple of lights is it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's funny. Let's have a look. So since says Rodolites, yeah. So you've got the EOSes, and you got the N1 Neo. Yeah, you got a bunch of Rodolites. Yeah. I mean, for you, Sin, because you're doing those like home shoots as well, right? I mean, those Rodolites would be perfect for that. I don't know, man. I think you've got the EOS there, right? That I think you would love as a key light. I really do. I think you would love that as a key light because the light drops off so quickly. We're going to kind of talk about LED light drop off in a minute, but I would encourage you to give it another go because you're doing these beautiful kind of beauty portraits. I know they're not beauty in the traditional sense, but they are certainly well crafted and very well lit portraits. In the home, you're not trying to do it outside or anything like that. I think I would urge you to give it another go. Just like those EOS that are like this, like 12 inches something across, right? And just having them just out of shot, real close to the model's face. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that I've kind of been banging on about that in the past. And the reason being is because of how close the actual light is to the subject and how quickly you get that drop off of light. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be for everybody. I know people love to just throw up a big softbox and switch their brain off. But having the light source that close to the subject enables you to get this very fast drop off of light thanks to the inverse square law. And the reason that's really pronounced on that is because you're not doing it with a strobe where you have the strobe, then you have the softbox, then you have the subject, right? So in some instances, like with some of these softboxes, you're kind of doubling the distance that the actual light is from the subject because the light bulb, the actual thing that's generating the light is, deeper in that softbox, right? So the softbox is like 18 inches deep and then it's 18 inches in front of the model. It's like, okay, so now it's 3 feet away, literally double the distance away than if you were using something like the EOS. So there is a lot to be said for those panels, right? That they are offering something unique. It's not just an alternative. And look, I'm not going to sell my flashes, but I do think you might love some of the beautiful light that you get with them. Yeah. For flash, I only use Godox. For LEDs, I have a mixture of brands: Amaran, Godox Aperture. Okay, so you got the apertures as well. Yeah. Use the rotor lights twice since I bought them. Yeah, I know, man. That's yeah. Okay. I mean, look, if they don't sing to you, then yeah, I think they have. I think they're beautiful lights. They're really, really good at one thing. Don't get me wrong. Like you can't modify them. I know people say, oh, you can get soft boxes and like you're just making a soft light softer. You can't do anything very sculpted with it. But for that one thing that they're really good at, like beautiful light. And look, like Leo there with the panels. Oh no, somebody had panels in there, newer panels in there. Try it with that as well. Just like arm's reach away, bring it in super close. Bring the power down, get that beautiful drop off of light, really fast drop off, so that the almost underneath the chin is going to dark, to shadow quite quickly. Yeah. Or I always use it with the dome, Sin. Yeah, always use it with the dome. I really don't see any occasion where I wouldn't use it without the dome, unless it's in like a softbox again, right? If you're putting it through a couple of layers of diffusion already and you're trying to get an extra half stop or stop of power out of it, then yeah, you could do that. But I would never allow the bare LEDs to see the skin, if you know what I mean, right? Just because that can cause some weird, I think it can muddy the shadows because it's like, I don't know, 300 points of light as opposed to being blended into 1 point of light, and I think that can muddy the shadows on like highly detailed work with pores and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I would always use the dome, but you are going to lose like half a stop or something. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. What's this here? Back here. D2, don't need that. Right. So where is my? Let's have a look. What are we going to be? Let's have a chat about what we're going to be doing today. Sorry, I got caught up with the lighting talk there. Live streams every couple of weeks. We do a share a shoot, which means that you guys share your images and we kind of go through them, and I offer some feedback and critique on the shots if it's needed. This is kind of like the only place to do that. If you wanted to take part in that, then here's the link to the Facebook post here, and you can pop the images in the comments. You can see here, share a shoot, and then we got this week's images in here. Let's have a look. Let's see what we got. That's looking good, huh? That's looking nice. Yeah, beautiful again. Nice, swibbly, nice. Yeah, Robin, good to see Robin in there. Going wide, Brett. Okay. 100mm macro. Okay, interesting. I think it can work. Do a lot of beauty shots. This was a nice change. Okay. Tony, you do a lot of beauty shots. You do a lot of portraits, don't you? Beauty shots are like the close-up ones, something like that. But yeah, I mean, this is cool with the colours. Yeah, that's colourful, isn't it? Nice. Okay. Yes, we got a bunch in there. Look, if anybody's interested, want to share their work, we have a look at some of these. That's cool, Alan. Yeah, I like that. We can go through some of these. What we also do is cover a couple of topics in these live streams. Usually just go through some news and some new releases. Do you know what? I didn't even get a chance. I've been absolutely just flat out. I didn't even get a chance to go through the news. I got a couple of links that I want to talk about from products that I'll be looking at or being sent and that sort of stuff. So I kind of have a look at that. But if anybody's seen any new products in the last couple of weeks that I should know about, please do let me know, and I will have a look. I didn't even get a chance to go through the news myself, but we've certainly got plenty to talk about. The other thing that I wanted to look at today is Evoto, the image retouching software, and Reblum, like skin retouching software / plugin. Now, this is not sponsored by them or anything like that, but they both reached out to me and was like, check out the software. And I was like, Evoto I've looked at before, but it was a year or so ago. So we've looked at it a couple of times over the years. I think when it first came out, so we'll look at it again here today. They've given me some links for you guys to get some deals if you're interested. Both Evoto and Reblum have done that as well. Again, not sponsored. I have specifically said that I will not be giving out affiliate links, but these links get you money. They don't make me money, just because I know as Brits we don't tend to respond well to the affiliate scams or what should we say, affiliate, what is it, like, it's kind of glazing, right? I think the kids are calling it. So I promise you, I'm not making any money. We will load up these pieces of software and see what they can do. It's interesting. Look, I think it's like that is an industry that is evolving very, very, very quickly. And chatting to a couple of people that I do kind of one-to-one mentoring with. One of them, Brian from Boston, pointed me in the direction of Reblum. And I was kind of, okay, yeah, I can see that. And then just by chance, they reached out. A couple of people I know are using that. So yeah, we'll have a look. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll get stuck into the news. Max remember some selfies. Yeah, give it a go, Sin. Yeah, I would definitely give them another shout. You seem to be shooting, a decent amount. I would maybe dedicate, you know, like an hour at the end of a shoot or something like that, just to try a setup with them, see if you get on with them and see what they can offer you. Yeah. Andre says Canon retro concept camera showcased at. No way. What are they doing? Is that serious, Andre? Is that for? Are we being for real right now? Like. Okay. This it, Andre? This is what you're talking about? This looks. What's the price on this? What are you looking at here? CP206 show in Yokohama, Japan has begun, the biggest camera show on the planet. Really? Okay. That's the biggest camera show on the planet. I wonder what. I mean, the US has got some big boys, isn't it? Anyway, see a lot of gear from manufacturers. Concepts, haven't seen things. Canon in the concept department over the last few years. That's true. This is one weird and wild. Looks like Canon Blad. What are we looking at? Form factor. It's actually called that. Isn't always indicative of what is actually going on with the concept Canon. They're showcasing two similar, different labels. Boom, boom. Okay. Yeah. I mean, surely you look down through the top, right? Okay. So they've got two versions there. Oh, there you go. See, look, Vlad, you can pretend you're looking through the viewfinder and have the screen out. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah. Let's have a look. What are the comments saying? Where's probably whether I guess the right influencers could sell thousands of it. I'm not sure. Which says larger than. Is it larger than full frame? Yeah. If it was back in the day, it would have been 6x6. Today, probably. Yeah. I wonder what size the actual chip is. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, why not? Why not? I hadn't heard of that, Andre. Well done. Good shout. Good shout. Oh, Vlad said he's seen the Canon prototype underneath. Nice one, Vlad. You guys are on it, man. You guys are on it. You can use the code Vlad or something if you want to give money. Can I just Fuji doing retro stuff? I mean, isn't that's true, right? Gripes. I mean, that is exactly what they're doing there. And you know, Kodak coming back with these little things and that sort of stuff, and even Nikon did this kind of very retro camera a few years ago, didn't they? It wasn't as retro as this, but it was certainly Fuji inspired. Like the Nikon one was 100% Fuji inspired. Yeah. Have to admit, it's a beautiful toy. I mean, I agree. She has stopped. That was it, Vlad. That's crazy. You could hear that. That's nuts. Yeah. That's crazy. All right, guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, normally wife doesn't work this late, so it's not normally an issue. But yeah, she stopped. So appreciate you putting up with that. I'll have to listen back to the VOD. I guess just because it's just this low hum, I kind of have just tuned it out. Okay. Well, stop for now. Hey Darius, how you doing? There you go. So. Come on then. What do we know the price of this? Are we gonna guess prices of this? I mean, we don't really know too much about it other than the fact that it's just a fancy kind of camera for people with probably too much money. What are we saying? What do we think the price of that is going to be? Definitely not a measurement. Retro style looks a bit of those cheap. Okay. What do we think? Come on. Now the real question, Jake, saw the Arri collaboration with the Honor phone. What the fuck? You winding me up. 2 days ago. Well done. Good shit, Grams. Good shit. Okay. So, I don't know how common this knowledge is, but a little bird told me that Ari is struggling big time, right? And I mean, like they've dropped the price big time because they're trying to, they're trying to get out from under it, right? They haven't been able to adapt, or like their original Ari Sky panel, which came out, I don't know, like was it? Got to be 10 years ago now, right? And they haven't really, I mean, it could even be, it could be 2016 it came out, maybe even before then, but they haven't really kind of brought anything out that kind of has been able to compete with the torrent of LED lights that have come out. So they are struggling. So this is, Honor as a Chinese company, I take it, right? With deep pockets. Is that, I'm just putting it out there. Interesting. Okay. Honor is a pioneering new era of mobile imaging where technology exists to inspire creativity and storytelling. Is this where, like, isn't Hasselblad owned by DJI or something like that? Is that, I forget. Like they're all switching pockets all the time. Isn't that right? I think that's right. Exists to inspire creativity and storytelling, says James, as define the visual language of cinema generations. Though this collaboration, we are bringing the cinematic standards of professional workflows into mobile imaging. Okay. So what the? So I guess it's the Ari camera side of it. I thought the Ari camera side of it was actually doing okay. What I was referring to from the stories that I've heard was the lighting. Yeah. So what, is Ari just going to start making mobile phones? Like, that's wild. Good shout. I hadn't seen that. Thank you for sharing that one. Yeah. Steve reckons the Canon camera won't make it to market. Okay, maybe. I mean, I guess they could just put it out there as a concept and see if anybody bites. But I mean, this is not a bad idea, Steve. Right, to get a few eyeballs back on Canon in the press. Yeah, giving on the phone thing is going to be fragile. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, that sits in the top of the phone? Like, I guess, is that plugged into something, or is that just clamped on there? Okay. Yeah. Mr. ChatGPT, if it were released possibly in the 1,500 to $2,500 range or similar, tier 10 tiers full frame mirrorless cameras, not based on official announcement. God, that's expensive, isn't it? But yeah, I could see $2,000, I guess. Yeah, at least there's some progression happening in the field. Can't complain. It's on the back of the phone. Okay, Gramps. Okay. Is this the progression that we wanted with mobile phones? Is that what we wanted? It's falling back into the phone. Do some scrolling. What, press images? What am I looking at? Oh, is it just them shaking hands or something? Yeah. Thanks for that, guys. Good. Anyway, I'll have a look if it comes up. I don't think it's relevant to any of us here, but anyway, yeah. Good shout. Hey Danny, how you doing, mate? Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. Yeah, we got some bits to talk about. Do some scrolling on other pages, look on other pages. Sorry. Oh, no worries, bad. Yeah, no worries. Okay. So did you guys hear about Mode from Flickr? Like they started to announce it a couple of weeks ago, and then they kind of fully announced it, I think Thursday last week, and the World's Photography Festival. So their plan here, so I think this is Mode. This is totally funded by Flickr and kind of run by Flickr, to my knowledge. And isn't Flickr owned by SmugMug? Right? I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is. So I don't know how far back in the chain we go to see who owns who. Maybe somebody else owns Smugmug. But yeah, so this is the first photography festival, right? And I was like, okay, it's kind of an interesting idea. So the premise seems to be like there's no gear stands or anything like that. This is not an exhibition. This is not where the gear brands and lighting and camera and all that sort of stuff, they don't come to set up stands or anything like that. It's not about that. It seems to be about photographers coming there, sharing ideas and speaking to like-minded people and that sort of stuff, like literally as you'd expect a kind of a music festival, but for photography, right? So keep your eyes on Space Loaders updates from mode. Let's have a look. So let's see. How to mode, frequently asked questions. What do we got? What is Mode Festival? Mode by Flickr, aka Mode Festival or just Mode, is a 3-day multimedia, multi-venue photography festival in downtown Minneapolis. It combines elements of a traditional trade show with a high-energy festival. Each day there will be workshops, concerts, talks, demos, screenings, and meetups, all designed to leave photographers creatively recharged, more connected to their community. So it's like, okay. Mode is, so how are Mode and Flickr related? Mode is produced by Flickr. Flickr has been a home of photographers for more than 20 years, and Mode is a real-world extension of that, sharing work, learning together, growing your craft without chasing algorithms. I gotta find out. So it is owned by Smugmug. Okay, so they're just using the brand, like the Flickr brand, to kind of put it out there. Okay, fine. When and where? So Friday, September 18th. Okay, so 3 days. Okay, daily schedules will vary depending on the venue. Okay, Minneapolis. Anybody here even remotely close to that? Yeah. What inspired the creation? Photographers needing something real in a world where algorithms shape what we see and how we connect. We wanted to build a space that's human again. IRL community first and made people who actually love the craft. Okay. Mode is a way of bringing photography out of the apps and into the streets. So, look, I can see the idea behind it. I can see the idea behind it. And if I was down that way, I could certainly see myself making my way down there just to see what it's about. Indoors and outdoors. Who should attend? Everybody, what should I bring? Cameras. What's the bag policy? Reasonably sized camera bags. What's the pet policy? Train service. Okay. So, all right. So what's the lineup then? So the lineup at a photography festival is going to be photographers, right? This is not, Coldplay ain't going to be there. So we got Brooke Shaden, who, arguably a bit of a legend. We haven't seen much from her in a long while. She kind of blew up on Creative Live a million years ago. Beautiful work. So she's cool. We got Penny de los Santos. We got Chris Burkhardt. I'm not up to date on the latest American photographers here. So if you guys recognize any of these people, let me know. Sandro Miller, he's pretty famous. He's a cool guy. That's the kind of self-portrait I can get behind, Beth. I like it. Rob Grimm. Okay, so Rob Grimm I know. Yeah, he produced my gelled lighting videos back in the day. He's still life, like beverage, food and beverage, but mainly beverage is what he's known for. That's cool. So we got a bunch of people there. Was Chris gets in twice? What the hell? Oh no, they all get. Okay, they were just the featured ones. Okay. So yeah, bypasses. How much is this thing then? Okay. Festival entry, access to mode spaces, select events, $330. But then this is America, right? That's not that much to those guys. You got to remember that. Yeah, I mean that's a couple of steak dinners and you're done. So yeah. Okay. Interesting. Does this interest anybody? Like, if they had this in your country and and you could get to it, would you be interested in this kind of idea of the kind of like the anti photographic exhibition type thing, or that we normally go to? Like here in the UK, we have the photo show and that sort of stuff with the booths, and you go around and look at kit and that sort of stuff. Is that the only reason that you go to those things, is to look at new kit, to get your hands on new kit? Or would you be interested in seeing kind of like-minded people in your in your own country and kind of doing something like this? Would you pay? Obviously, prices would have to differ for your own country, I guess. Like I said, like America is rich, so I mean that's not crazy money to them. Yeah. Wait, Flickr is still alive? Yes, I know, right? Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, interesting. Okay. Good shout, Vlad. Well done. Good shout. Okay. I mean, it's like it's still the quality of that. It's not going to be. I don't know. I'm not convinced on these little things myself, but. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Who is that for? Like, don't we already have those products with like the Osmo and that sort of stuff, and the GoPro 360 and all this? Like, there's already tons of those already, right? Yeah. Oh, spoiler. Don't know any of them. Yeah. Photos with the concept and oh yeah, that's gear money. I wouldn't pay that much for TED Talk. Sorry. It's like, look, that is rich, Vlad. It is, and I would say that is US prices. I would say that's US prices. I think if they were to do that in your country, it wouldn't be anything like that. So would you go to something like that if it was like a nominal entry fee? Like a normal exhibition would be, I don't know, 25, 50 quid to get into like the photo show or something here, right? Would anybody be interested in paying like a nominal amount for something like that? Just kind of curious if there is a market for anything like that. I think it's a good idea. Like, fair play to them for trying it. Yeah. I can't believe somebody said it. I don't know any of them. Yeah. It's some of them in there like pretty well known. Yeah. Again, like maybe it's a US thing as well, right? Yeah, I'm down for 20 quid. I respect it, mate. Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, wouldn't travel more than an hour for it. I mean, like, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, and again, like Americans are totally fine with travel as well. Like way more comfortable with longer travel. We're terrible in the UK for this. Maybe in Europe in general, but yeah, we do not travel anywhere here. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. So now, like, got in touch. They saw that recent post on Instagram with the Pavo Slim article that I did, and were like, would I be interested in checking out some of their new pieces of kit? So we got a couple of things here. We got the FC 720. So C being the color one, and the 720B being the bi-color one here. So 720. So right, it's starting to happen, right? There's more and more power that is becoming more and more affordable for LEDs, which I said would happen years ago. I said, these LEDs are out there right now in, being used in like cinema sets and that sort of stuff. I mean, it's not that many years ago where I was doing that shoot for Panavision, and like they had a $15,000 panel there, It would probably be a tenth of that now. But the prices of LEDs are coming down and the power is going up. So 720. So I've got a couple of 500s here, and remember, this is not the equivalent. This is not the equivalent to a 500-watt studio strobe. This is different, right? This is very, very different. So don't think, oh my God, now we're talking that I can start replacing my 500-watt strobes and that sort of stuff with equal power. It's not even close. But this is bright because it's continuous. This is bright. So we did a shoot end of last year with Profoto's new LED head, and that's 600 watts. 600. Like it is a juicer. We like if the model stood in front of that for an extended period at full brightness, like it's a lot. It's a lot. So 720 is definitely getting up there in the realms of, for studio portraits and that sort of stuff, as like being almost excessively bright. Now it becomes more useful if you're going to be firing it through like a projector spot or heavily diffused material, and you're bouncing it off a V flat, or you're sending it off the ceiling, or it's 20 feet away at the back of the studio with a massive softbox on. Okay, then these more powerful lights start to make more sense. But if you're bringing them in like close and that sort of stuff, key lights, it's not. You just do not need that level of power, and it is uncomfortable, to be in front. Not to mention, one of the things we kind of spoken about this a little bit before, but we've spoken about chromatic adaptation, which is where our eyes kind of try to white balance certain bold colors, and they'll do it to the point that when we see other colors, it kind of affects the way that we view colors, right? I'm sure you've all seen this. You're inside, and it's like a maybe tungsten. You go outside and it seems blue and that sort of thing. So like that happens. But the brightness thing as well is like when I was doing the shoot and we had a lot of very, very bright lights on, and you go to look at the image, it's like you almost need like a shade for the laptop in the studio, right? So you can actually so you can actually adjust your eyes to how the image is looking, because these lights in the studio are so bright when they're on continuous like this, that it can affect the way that you view the images afterwards. If you're looking at the back of the camera after the shot has been taken, very, very bright. So look, I don't think there's too many adjustments or too many improvements from the 500-watt head that I've already got, but that nanolite head that I already have is absolutely incredible. So I'm sure this one will be as well. Those of you who don't know, Bowen's mount and all that sort of stuff. So all the good stuff that you're used to. So yeah, have a look at that. Is that Elton John in there? Yeah, I don't think you'll be at that one, mate. Yeah. Oh, we don't have American roads here in Romania. No, that's true. Like, you don't have the 12 lanes of traffic. Jake, you don't travel further north than Birmingham. No. What the hell? Oh, crazy. Jesus. North of the wall like that, mate. You're having a laugh. Yeah, exactly. Get a nosebleed, or I get attacked by just some wild northerners roaming the lands, with their pitchforks or whatever they have up there. Yeah, previous pic of that Gizmo on camera reminded me of the short circuit. Yeah, that's right, Maz. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, showing your age there, but no, I do know what you mean. Yeah, Johnny 5. Yeah, I'd offer to pay with a couple of goats and 2 dozen eggs. You want to talk about northerners? Like Sin, I get the feeling is like proper north. If they are 600 watts, wouldn't that blind model, especially at long periods, as if they have blue eyes, they won't thank you. Yeah, so what Alan's talking about there is kind of what I was mentioning, and it is. Like I said, I would really only be using that at a distance, right? Using it at a distance. I'll be honest, I'm less sympathetic to models. I know I sound like an asshole for saying that, but they're not tungsten lights, right? Those tungsten ones fry your eyeballs. This is not anywhere near like that. So yes, it's bright, and obviously you need to make sure that everybody's comfortable and happy on the day of the shoot to get the best results. So yes, you know, obviously be sure to turn them down if needed. But what if you could shoot at 250th of a second at full power though? Just saying. Having bright lights on all the time seems like going backwards that they were with Flash. We could do some harm to model lights all the time, don't you think? Yeah, I was just kind of talking about there. I don't know. Andre, you got the tungsten lights. You know how bright those things are, and they're hot as well. You're sitting under these like bright tungsten lights. But yeah, you're right. These are getting bright, and you know some of the Godox NOLED heads, you know, are so bright now that they have like safety mechanisms on the mount, right? So it won't turn on if you don't have a modifier on it to kind of channel that light somewhere. So it literally won't come on if there's not a modifier on it, just because like these things are bright. Now, I mean, obviously you could still blind yourself with a modifier on it, but still, like they at least are going down the road of, okay, we need to start thinking about safety, you know? Yeah. Always want subjects about LED fatigue. It's a real thing. Oh my God, they're all in here tonight, man. All in here tonight. I suppose you want the fan off as well, like it's too cold. Is that just... It's just there's nobody suffering for that art anymore, man. I don't know. When you have time, check out this video which compares output for various LEDs, including FC. Okay, good shout, man. Good shout. Good lad, Steve. Let's have a look. So what do we got here? So 800 watt light from 1/3. Okay. Maybe because I'm streaming. I've used a 4,500 watt floodlight. Couldn't afford to run them. Oh yeah, that's true, Alan. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the literal cost of running them. I don't know why that's. Oh, it's this guy. This guy's great, man. This guy's great. You want to talk about affiliates and people getting kickbacks and that. This guy is like an independent millionaire. So he has no horse in the game. He buys all his own kit. He's just got this guy, Marcus Hicks here. I can't watch too many of his videos. The style doesn't really fit with me. But if you want somebody who's just going to give you no BS, like this guy gives it to you straight, man. Because he just buys all his own kit. Like that's his front room. He just lives in a mansion with a pool, that sort of stuff. Yeah, he's independently wealthy, doing it. So I will check this out, Steve. Thank you. So he's talking about the cost of it. Powerful video lights are becoming really affordable now. As I was saying, yeah, the new 800 watt nan light is 1/3 of the cost of the nan light 4720, and it weighs £6 less. It's amazing. I love it. This video compare similar lights that Godox 600, nan light 500. He's got so many. It's hilarious. Check out what's possible. These cool lights. Okay. I mean, as far as I'm aware, he just buys them all himself. He's just got racks and racks and racks of gear. He's funny, man. He's funny. That's a good shout on that video. Okay, I'll have a look. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting terrible with that. Okay, so yeah, you got to remember they're going to have modifiers on them as well, right? So they're going to be further away and like multiple layers of diffusion, all that sort of stuff. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but 500 to 750 is what, half a stop extra, less than half a stop. It would be, if it was 750, it would be half a stop extra of light. This is 720, so would like a 1/3 of a stop, 2/3 of a stop brighter or something like that than the 500s. But yeah, they are bright. The other thing that was kind of interesting is they brought out this new Bowen's mount projection attachment, which is, if you guys know that I reviewed the other one, the thing is a monster. The thing is an absolute beast. It's a beautiful, beautiful projection unit. What was it called? Like it was called like the light spot light or something. Projector attachment. This thing. This thing is a monster, absolute monster, and it's beautiful. It creates good. that little light hanging off the back of it is a massive 500 watt light hanging off the arse of that thing, and it produces an absolutely beautiful crystal clear spotlight, but it's just not very practical. It's just not very practical because of how much it weighs. I end up not taking it to shoots because you need it on a C-stand. Like, sometimes a C-stand is nice and all that sort of stuff, but this is like, it's mandatory to have this thing on a C-stand. Whereas this is not. This looks far more lightweight. Looks like it's made out of their special plasticky carbon plastic stuff, whatever they've got. Super lightweight, and you can adjust the beam size, which is kind of cool, right? So this is the first one I've seen out there. So they're going to send it over. I'll have a look. We can see how crisp and clean that, gobo and light is with the zoomable lens that they've got here. But like S-Fit 25 to 45, I think it is. It could be pretty cool. Like, and that could mean that it's actually something that you could take on location shoots without a C-stand, which seems weird, but like if I'm in the studio here, I always use my big boy here just because it is outstanding, phenomenal, but it's just not practical. So be interested to see what this one is like. Looks really lightweight, actually. What are the specs on this weight wise? Bowman's mount, product size, product weight. Here we go. Bowman's mount projection attachment. So 2.68. Okay. Doable. I mean, it's got glass in it, right? It's just like there's no way around it. Yeah. What else we got here? So is this the big boy? I think this is the big boy. What's this called? The PJBM. Yeah, same. Let's see how much this one weighs. Yeah, let's have a look. So product weight, yeah, it's twice the weight without the lens. It's you see what I mean? Right, look at that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be 8 kilos. I tell you, that thing is a monster. So that's crazy. How much lighter this is? That's wild, actually. Yeah, I knew it was going to be lighter, but I'm surprised at that. That's crazy. Yeah. So it's all in one piece. So 2.6 as opposed to 8 kilos on the other one. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see what that's like. If it's crisp, it doesn't have any weird aberrations, doesn't have any weird vignetting or anything like that, which is what a lot of the cheaper spotlights can have. The ones that you get from some of the B&H and ones that you get on there a little bit cheaper with the detachable lenses and that sort of stuff, like do tend to vignette. But these ones that have specifically made lenses tend to be pretty good. So fingers crossed this one is the same, because that'll be way more viable. Yeah. That being said, I actually use the baby ones on shoots. I take the little baby nanlite with little baby projection spotlight. As long as you got space, it's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I used it on the Color 2.0 workshop. That's what I took. Yeah. I'm a Northerner bleed gravy. Nice, mate. Nice. Yeah. On one of my uses of the rotor lights, I almost blinded the model for a little bit. Yeah, you got to make that's right. Yeah, if they're not ready for it and you turn it on and it's like full power, it is. Yeah, which come on, we've all done that. Yeah, it is very bright. Yeah, you the Pablo Escobar photography gear. Yeah, Marcus. Yeah, he's funny, man. Yeah, 8 kilograms needs a strong tripod. It is, man. Yeah, it is. Like you cannot use it without. I mean, like here you can see I'm using it on a C stand. I don't know. You can see it in the shots, but yeah, you have to use it on a C stand. Like there's no. It's just I would not, because this weighs so much, and you got to hang the light off the back of it as well with the cables and all that sort of shit. Like it's yeah, not good. So as much as I love it, if the other one comes out and is good, then great. Yeah, big spoon was around 10 kilos. Yeah, exactly. yeah. So keep you posted on that. We'll see when they send that out. It's official. I'm now an affiliate with Profoto. I know I spent the first 10 minutes of the stream going how much affiliates are shills and sellouts, grubby little little sods, but it's official. I've all been signed up on the Profoto affiliate scheme. We'll see how much I push the link, but yeah, I'm going down to Profoto tomorrow. Like they've got this Aladdin's cave of kit that I'll be going down and choosing some pieces. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll try and control my excitement. That's pretty looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie. I've already got a couple of things in mind that I want to get. Obviously, get that beast, that L600C monster. Got to get that, because that thing is wild. Yeah. This thing is nuts. So definitely looking forward to getting one of those, and I'll get some Profoto modifiers, and then get the affiliate codes in the stream next time around. In all seriousness, though, I'm looking forward to working with them. I think some of the bits that they do are really cool. They have a lot of very talented photographers on their list, as it were. So I'm very privileged and honoured to be up there with them. So it'll be good. Looks like kind of a lot of it will be looking more towards the cinema style lights with the LEDs, right? That seems to be what they're after. So we'll see. Get you posted on that. And looking forward to you guys ripping the piss out of me next time. This background looks suspiciously like one of my images. I wonder. Just give me 2 seconds. It's the first time I've seen that. I'm kind of curious. Oh, I don't think I've got it on the system. I think it's on a different hard drive. Yeah. Oh, unless it's on my. Yeah, look. I'm telling you, they're using some of these. Just saying. Yeah. Cool. It should be good. Jeez, oh yeah. Everybody's dedicated to sincerity until there's money on the table, and then it's like, do you know what? I'll have some of that. Scaffolding, exactly, Alan. Yeah, literally. Yeah, even my Matthew C-stand only handles just under 10 kilos. Oh wow, Jesus, that's nuts. Yeah, Dribs needs to go out for live stream viewers. I like where your head's at, Danny. I like where your head's at, mate. It probably looks great. If they are free, I personally wouldn't spend that money on something that doesn't return on that investment. Fair enough, Sin. Yes, fair enough. Yeah, unless you're doing, you got like permanent studio that's up all the time and that sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get that. You'd be more than like expensive kid. Can you? I won't lie, mate. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, it's just the level of nerd that I've got to now with lighting. Photographing pretty girls all the time for your job is one thing. The novelty wears off, right? Going to see a bunch of lighting gear all in one place, and choosing a couple of pieces. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. You got my attention. Yeah. Need that gel pack. What gel pack's that? The actual physical gel packs? Yeah. Are you going to a photography show? You just think of the photo? Oh, really, Steve? Okay, I didn't know that because I was fairly confident that they weren't going to be there, Steve. I didn't know that for sure, but they weren't there last year. Profoto weren't there last year, and I was pretty confident that I haven't heard them talk about them being at the photo show. So they're going to be under AJ's. What they're just putting a trellis table up at the end of AJ's with a couple of lights on it. Yeah. I will be going up there. I'm going up there on the Saturday. If anybody's going up on the Saturday, let me know and we can hang out. When is it? It's not this Saturday coming in, right? No, it's two. Yeah, so not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. Yeah. Anybody's going to the photo show? Let me know. A couple of live streams ago, we were looking at banding with LED lights, right? And this is a real issue that kind of, yes, it's niche in that we don't tend to shoot very high shutter speeds as photographers, but at the same time, if you fall into that niche, then it's literally nothing you can do about it. You can't retouch it out. It's not something that can be changed after the fact. It leaves quite literally these light and dark bands. Now, this was first shown to me by Brian from Boston. I was over there a couple of weeks ago shooting with him in his studio, and he had the Godox LED panels, like the big ones. Like I think they're the flexible ones and that sort of stuff. And he was doing some beautiful bodyscape images, and it was causing these very noticeable banding across the image. And this is like you're not fixing that in post. Right, this is not dust on the lens, or it is something else, or other weird shit that could be fixed. There is, you would need a. I was going to say you need a custom built kind of mask that would need to be feathered perfectly. Just you really couldn't. You really couldn't. So it's a major issue, and it's very, very subtle to the point that you may not notice it at the time if you're shooting on the back of the camera or something like that. But on some of these newer cameras now, he pointed out to me. Brian sent this to me. He found this in the manual here, that you can adjust the high frequency flicker reduction to fix this issue. In theory, I haven't tested it. I don't have the Z9. I think it might be there on the Z8. Don't know. So Tony as well, who is often in chat. He's from Australia. He usually comes in a little bit later on. He had it on his. I think he shoots Z8, and he had it on some of his shots when he was shooting LEDs. So Tony, if you're watching this in the future or whatever, have a look, see if this is in there, because it does seem to go into some fairly heavy detail as to how much you can tweak it, right? So he hasn't tested it yet. Brian hasn't tested it yet, not to my knowledge. So I'm interested to see if it actually fixes the issue. It's scary though, man, because if it's there and you don't notice it, you're done. You're cooked. Like you're not fixing it. You're really not. Like it's worrying to the point that it would force me to shoot tethered, right? And just because it was a very subtle effect, but as soon as you start doing anything to the image, like adding any contrast or sharpening it and that sort of stuff, it starts to come out, right? Like I said, we covered this extensively in a previous stream, so it's worth being mindful of it. Yeah. Money on Rob being there, exactly. He's taking me to the. He's going to blindfold me and take me to the secret location. Rob, yeah, he'll. Yeah, sworn to secrecy. Apparently, it's near me, which I was like, okay, I did not know that. But they've got Profoto has a new showroom in Pinewood Studios. Rob, I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that, so I think we're going to go there afterwards. Check out the new showroom that they've got with all the kit. I mean, it sounds pretty fancy. So yeah, I'll let you know how I get on. Yeah. Alan's going to be there on the Saturday. Oh, nice. I'll be up there on Saturday. Yeah. How does Rotolight feel about the Profoto? Well, Rotolight is just owned by a larger. It's just been kind of consumed by a larger brand called Swain's here in the UK. So they still sell the products, but I don't think they have they're not kind of keeping an eye on the industry ups and downs to see what's going on with it like that. I think it's all good from that point of view. Yeah. How those bands were shooting flash on high speed sync. Yeah, it can happen on high speed sync. Yeah, I had to change from electric shutter to mechanical. Interesting, Alan. Okay, again, I haven't shot much mirrorless. I haven't shot any high speed sync on mirrorless. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that, Alan. Thank you for that. I'll have to look and see if I can recreate that. That's kind of cool. Sony has some anti-flicker feature as well. I'm sure it does. Yeah, it would need to. I'm just kind of surprised I haven't seen more people kind of coming across this issue, because it's not like, yes, it is niche, but it's like if you shoot at 500th of a second with certain LEDs, it's there. It's not like some crazy combo that you need to bring out. And like Tony was showing images in the share shoot a few weeks back, and like it was clear as day, So I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more on it, but. My A7 III has it, but the Pocket one doesn't. Yeah, okay. Leo says this can work in theory, but it won't help with the LEDs with multiple different frequencies, which is most likely the case with mixed colors like RGBW. Now, Leo, my man, coming in with the real questions right there, because that's exactly what I was going to mention. And to my point was to mention different brands, but Leo raises an interesting point there about different colors, and if it's a bicolor light and an RGB light, whether that would have an impact as well. That's interesting, Leo. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Because my follow-up concern there was brands, as we tested in a previous live stream, we saw that different brands had different sizes of banding and different amounts of banding at different shutter speeds and different values, right? So this is great in theory, as like Leo's saying there, as long as they're all the same color and all the same brand. So it's a good point, Leo, about the bicolor and RGB. I wonder. But like most of us, I think when I asked you guys at the start about what lights you guys had, pretty much everybody said they had a mix of different brands. Like nobody was like, I only shoot Godox, like I don't shoot anything else, or I only shoot newer. Everybody's got kind of like this hodgepodge of lights. So this, in theory, works, but there's a huge caveat to it. And I'm glad to see that Leo is out here asking the real questions. So I would need to test it. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm up for a jolly affairs room in the taxi. I know. Yeah, you have to keep your hands in your pockets at all times, Rob. Yeah, you'll be checking your pockets on the way out. Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, I've been interested to test this out. I haven't tested my GFX on it. I don't really shoot a 500th of a second. It hasn't really come up, but it wasn't even restricted to mirrorless. It was happening on the D850, which is definitely not mirrorless. So it's the actual lights themselves. It's not the light fighting with the mirrorless system or the electronic shutter or whatever it is, because it was happening on the Nikon D850. Yeah. I just want to touch the toys. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at some of these retouching softwares that we were kind of talking about. And look, I think those of us who've been shooting for a while are kind of entrenched with Adobe, right? We're all kind of entrenched in the Adobe ecosystem. Like I've been using Adobe since Photoshop since 5.5. Some people even longer than that. And like it's definitely an extension of our arm now, right? And look, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I get a bit long in the tooth to be learning a whole new platform and all that sort of crap now. I got work that needs doing, and I want to get it done, and I can do it fastest in Photoshop. So that's what I'm using at the moment, right? Same with Lightroom, using that, boom, job done. But like there's a lot of people who just really do enjoy taking pictures and detest retouching images, right? And I totally get that. I totally get that. So, what are you left doing? Just sending people like the JPEGs of the RAWs and just calling it quits? You're not gonna, if you're not gonna retouch them, then so many images are just kind of left languishing, right? I know many scores of photographers who've got tons of shoots just on hard drives that they've never done anything with, because they're just like, oh, I just can't be able to go through them and do the retouching, all that sort of stuff. So this is where companies like Evoto, and there are other ones as well, I can't think of right now. Is it Luminar was one that we tried? There's like a few out there, but Evoto has been around kind of like the longest, right from the start. And we've looked at Evoto a couple of times over the years. Firstly, we looked at it many years ago now when it first came out. We were like, ooh, what's going on with this? What's it doing? Because I think it was using like AI tools and that sort of stuff to do some of it. And we were like, check it out, and it was fine. And we looked at it again last year, and I was like, okay, it's fine. So they reached out and was like, do you want to have another look? Here's a code, download it, give it a go. Here's some codes or whatever for anybody that's interested. So we're going to do that. I've downloaded it. I'm going to open up some images that I've just exported from Lightroom. So they have been worked on in Lightroom, but they're not like zero Photoshop done to them, right? So we're going to open them up in there, and we can see where Evoto is sitting right now. The other piece of software app thing that I want to look at is Reblum. So this is nowhere near as sophisticated as Evoto. Evoto is kind of replacing Photoshop in the amount of tools that Evoto has, and it's a complete suite, right? Reblum is a standalone app, but it can also be a plugin in both Photoshop and Lightroom, and I think Capture One, I need to double check the notes, which means that you can work with Reblum inside your Adobe platforms or whatever that you're already using, right? And this specifically is for skin retouching, right? So it's really that's all it does. It doesn't do anything else. No other. It's very just like kind of three sliders, boom, off you go. And if you need to do quick skin retouching in Lightroom, even if you were doing like preview files, right, sending out edits to a client, you could run this in Lightroom. Do a little bit of skin smoothing, buzz them out to the client, job done, right? And then if you're going to do it to a higher degree on the final images that they choose, cool. But this is what Reblum is. So two different things here. Evoto, very heavy duty piece of software that's trying to kind of do everything that Photoshop does, and and more, right? So an enclosed ecosystem, as it were, only available in its standalone app. That app works off your system, by the way. It's not a cloud-based app. I mention that because some AI softwares do that, work in the cloud. Evoto doesn't. And Reblum, which is like a plugin, but you can be used as a standalone app. So, first off, does anybody use either of these two before we open these up and take a look? Let's have a look at Evoto first. Let me open this up. Let's see. Like I said, this is a standalone piece of software that is on your system. It doesn't use the cloud or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. So open it up. We got a library where we can bring in our images. Let me just bring it up the bottom down here. Sorry, I forget. It crops up at the bottom there. Let's bring in the images, and then we can then start to edit them and that sort of thing as well. So pretty basic stuff, right? So we can just open this up here. So I've put this in a folder here. So images for retouching. So these ones are really images from several shoots over the years, like varying different skin types and gels and white light, dark skin as well, freckles, kind of seeing a little bit of a gamut. Now, yes, these are all, professional shoots. This is not like a wedding or anything like that. If anybody has any wedding images that are kind of unretouched and they wanted me to kind of buzz through this, then let me know. Pop it in the, if you did want to do that, pop it in the Facebook post here. if anybody's got an image they want me to buzz through this, I will, you know, like to give more of a rounded overview of it. Let's have a look. Is Brett's image here? Let's have a look. Let's grab this as well. We can put it in downloads. That's fine. I just saw because I thought because Brett normally posts non-retouched images. So let's have a look. We can grab that one. But yeah, if you want to pop it in there, and we can have a look. So go back to the library here. What is this? Add, import image, downloads. Please choose to import them in the currently selected. Import to current project. Yeah, that's fine. It was already done it. Okay. So that's in there. Cool. Okay. So let's have a look, man. Let's have a look. So we got some files here. Yeah. So we got, like I said, we got a bunch of like pure color on the skin, that sort of stuff. So we got some variation there. So let's have a look. So this is more of a. This was more of a normal shot of a normal lady here. Let's have a look. So we got over here. We got a bunch of different tools, like some presets here. That's your presets, okay. And we got up here. We got our AI color adjustment. So here we can pop in some of these things here, which look to be what similar to your Lightroom presets, I guess, right? Where you just got your color profiles and that sort of thing. So you've got to bear in mind that my images are already going to be heavily colored, so this is probably not going to be the best thing for these. Let's have a look. We got one here. Okay, so this one here from Grabs here is like. I will say that Evoto in the past used to be pretty generous with the brightness because obviously that's going to help to make the skin look better. Yeah, everybody's tastes will vary, but yeah, I mean that's like we got some adjustments down here. We got, has it done anything in here? So that preset, no, it's hasn't done anything in there. Hasn't done anything in this. I mean, this is exactly, those of you who are familiar with Lightroom will know that pretty much all the same kind of sliders and stuff down here. So really these presets are working with exposure here, and it tweaked the white balance. Let's have a look what else we got. Again, it loves to pump up the brightness on these. So we've got some of the presets here. So you get the idea, right? These presets are really, I mean, that's kind of nice. Okay. So that's using. Okay, so it is doing something there in the curves a little bit, and that's added noise to it. So it is doing some of the bits down here as well. Okay, so some of these presets use it. Okay. So you guys get the idea. So you can kind of go through those. But I mean, look. These presets are definitely geared up for white lighting shots, right? So if you're like, you know, your weddings or whatever, like your studio portraits and that sort of stuff, it really, you know, like they definitely fall apart with these, right? It loves to brighten these things, man. Yeah, so so definitely these presets are cool, but I would like the AI presets are cool, but I would say they are really kind of geared up for the white lighting images. I'm glad that actually Brett had that here for us to kind of grab. That's kind of perfect. That's good. So what else we got here? We got the AI stuff. We got just the regular stuff that we were talking about here. So this is like your Lightroom panels that we're kind of familiar with. We got the masking. So again, like pretty sure we can do like background masking here. Okay, yeah. So it grabs so it's standard stuff, right? You get your background. You can adjust that. Fine. Then we got the portrait retouching. So this is where most people, in my opinion, are going to be looking at Evoto for this. The reason I say that is because, like, a lot of these features that we've been talking about here and showcasing are kind of already there in a lot of other platforms, and like we're already using Photoshop and Lightroom, and like, we're kind of very familiar with kind of these standards. But the retouching portion of it is pretty powerful, right, in what they're saying they can do, because we have so many different options here. So first off, we can dictate the type of person it is in terms of their age and sex and all that sort of stuff. We got freckles, acne, face shine, dark circles, eye bags, lower eyelids, remove glasses glare, lips wrinkles, flakes, double chin. So many variables here, right? The stretch marks is a new one they've done, yeah. Okay. Now, one thing that we've got with this, right, is, let's reset this fella, let's come back to some of these, is we've got, I think these are just the full presets of just everything. That's okay. That's pretty fucking good, man. What the fuck? Damn. That's a preset? Shit. Okay. That's kind of wild. So we've got other ones here. Glowing ones. This is obviously more aggressive. Okay, that's keeping the kind of the crunch to it. Oh, you see that? You see it brought in the chin? You see that down here, like the facial structure. Wedding, okay. A little bit of stuff under the eyes and stuff here, okay. Yeah. Oh shit, they got loads of them. Maternity, yeah. Don't know how they dictate that. Okay. Not too bad. Let's see how we do in this one. So this girl, like, we got some hairs going across the face here. We've also got moles, and this is notoriously worst case scenario because of the colored face and the contrasting colors on the face as well, right? So natural just gave a little pop to the eyes, so you can work out where the eyes are. Okay. So this is where it tends to struggle. This is where they can struggle with the where the colors mix, right? Now, these are just presets, but my guess is that they're all refinable here. Yeah, here we go. So it's not just a preset, but they're all adjustable here. Okay. And then is it done? Because these presets are doing everything, to my knowledge, or not? Oh, it is. Okay, so it is working it in here. Yeah, okay. So not doing too much. And these glowing ones. Okay, yeah, so they're all modifiable. So it's not just you know, like, set it and forget it. You're not, you know, okay. Yeah, so you can tweak some of these still. So if you wanted to kind of sort out this kind of blend here, we can do. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we got like sort of the more of the full body here. Let's have a look. Let's reset this. Make sure we're not looking good. Okay. So it's really only focusing on the face here. This is all presets, unless there's something down here for full body, because you see it hasn't touched anything down here. Let's have a look. I was curious. So portrait retouching. Okay, so here we go. So it's actually, so it breaks it up between the face and the body here. So you can see here, right, body blemishes. Okay, so you can, again, you can tweak it on the body or whatever there as well. So you saw that there. Right. So then you can adjust it on the face as well to have less blurring on the face. Okay, so you can, yeah, so it's breaking it up from the body and the face as well. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is, yeah, so we've got a lot more going on here. We've got a lot of data in here, right? So zoom in on this one. Let's check the chat in case I'm missing anything important. It does, Vlad. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is supposed to open the RAW as well. Yeah, yeah. Reblum can be integrated with Capture One. Thank you, Maz. I was pretty sure I saw in the notes that it could be, but thank you for confirming that. Yeah. Evoto can handle RAWs. Yeah, can import catalogs. Still use it separate retouching out, making it Lightroom. Okay, okay. So those of you, what Jamie's saying there, he says like Vlad was saying that it can handle RAWs. Yeah, I've just kind of kept it pretty quick here just by buzzing out some JPEGs from Lightroom. Can import catalogs. I still use it to separate retouching app after making changes in Lightroom. So he's doing like the heavy lifting that he's used to in Lightroom, and then he's just buzzing it through Evoto for the skin smoothing and stuff. Yeah. So Danny says, I love Evoto, so easy and every image comes out perfect. It takes time to get to your style. Okay. So he says Evoto works for me. However, it does have issues at times when gel, color lighting, retouching portion. Yeah, I was looking at kind of, it was like not the end of the world on some of the colors that I was throwing it, but obviously the banding there, we're able to kind of correct it a little bit in the HSL sliders. But yeah. I've heard other people mention that it has kind of struggled with gel lighting shots, and yeah, I mean, kind of like the presets that we were looking at did not like any color in the image, right? It worked flawlessly on Gripes' image there, which was just a white background beauty shot. Like all those kind of color presets worked flawlessly on that. But when we gave it anything a little bit arty farty, yeah, it didn't really like it. Yeah. I use it for base retouching and then finish off in Photoshop. Jimmy says, yeah, I can use space to view with and without the changes. Okay. Oh, I see. So what you're saying is you do your thing and then hit spacebar. Good shout. Okay, thank you. Yes, Jake, press space to view before and after. Yeah, he's in play mode. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Also change the tab to the retouching to view the retouching. Change the tab to the retouching to view the retouching. Okay, yeah. There's a separate section of the retouching panel. Body skin. Yeah, you can also use manual tuning to keep example mod if you want. Yeah. So I was looking at we got some face mold and stuff here, and we got other bits here on the body. So it definitely keeps it very separate, which is good because you can kind of have. Those of us that kind of go through the rigmarole of doing skin retouching for, portraits and fashion and that sort of stuff know that the skin texture is a different density, if you like, on the face compared to the body, right? So you need, like, if you're doing high frequency stuff, like you tend to typically need different amounts for the body and the face. So it's cool they're separating it out here as well. Yeah. I wonder if Evoto provides a history after you apply preset to see what changes they've made. I was going through them there, Maz. You could see some of them, but it looked like some of them were in the curve, but I couldn't see the changes. So, where were we? Were we here? Or something up here? I don't know where it was. It's gone now. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So I was doing some of these down here. You've got the colors down, and they was doing stuff in the. Oh wait, they are. There they are. Okay, you can change them. Okay, that's cool. So it's got a little white dot next to it to show that it's got changes in there. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yep. So you can adjust them in here as well. Yeah. In the curve. That's cool. I was thinking that like, you couldn't access them, but you can. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Painful to watch. You cheeky buggers. Honestly, what's it like? What's it like in here? I mostly use Capture One for color work, and then I export TIFF to Evoto and quick retouch. Okay. So you're doing the TIFFs in there. Okay. And then go, yeah. Okay. Color matching, that sort of stuff. Okay. Okay. So let's have a look then at this. This backseat drivers. That's what it is. Backseat drivers. That's what. Jamie. Right. So let's have a look at the skin here then. Okay, there it is. That's the panel. That's the panel we want. Oof. Okay, so the high end gets pretty much. It gets pretty good. You probably want to reduce that a little bit. So where is that smoothing come from? Is it this here? I guess it's just a texture thing. I'm just trying to see if there's like an overall. I guess that's just seeing the neck down there. I mean, you can kind of bring a lot of it back with this. I guess that's all it is. It's just these three, the main ones. Oh, you see how it's even done liquefying on the face there. It's done a good job with these up here. Eye bags as well. Tightened up brightness in the eye without making it look fake. We got a little highlight here in the makeup that's been missed, but otherwise, like evening out the highlight and shadow areas here on the face has done a good job. It's done a pretty solid job of the liquefy there as well, without being fake, right? Do you guys use these presets, or do you those professional Evoto users like Jamie? What are you using presets, Jamie, or are you just going in there and just manually doing it on all of them? Yeah, high end one seems to be the juice. Just ease off a little bit on that. That's looking pretty good. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. We got dark skin model here. Plus we got weird blurring around the outside and everything like that. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh shit, damn, that's looking like come on, man. I mean, oh, the neck as well. Even the highlight and shadow down here. See, I think this has come a considerable step from where it was a year or so ago, in my opinion, because before it was just like, holy shit, it's smooth. But this is it's believable, right? They've taken away a lot of this, but it's believable, right? Definitely believable. Interesting. Yeah, I can't believe so many of you guys cheat like this. This is crazy. You just like walking among us, just holding your head up high, just cheating like this full time. That's kind of wild. That's crazy. So we can bring that texture back a little bit here. Yeah. I mean, you can't argue any of that, can you? Let's see. Did we have like an armpit thing down here a minute ago? Did I see? I just imagined it. God, they got some really specific ones, right? Jesus. Beard protection, nice. Double chin, interesting. Yeah, okay. So what's we got in here? Oh, this is what I was talking about. So we can even have, so even, dodge, and burn. So there you go. Wow, that is clean, man. That is clean. That's crazy. So this is the little thing that I would have to generate a gray layer in Photoshop and then paint for like 20 minutes. Okay, so sculpting, which will just be more global, dodge and burn. Yeah, kind of a little bit. But this is difficult, right? Because we got double exposure, we got long exposure, we got the face isn't even ended correctly here. Okay, so it's evening out, kind of like if it was to see like the forehead needs evening out in terms of if there's a dent there and that sort of stuff, facial contours. Ooh, nice. Yeah, darkening the edges of it. Fucking hell, this is just. Oh wow, down there. Okay, frequency separation. So it's not. So that's 0 at the moment. Okay, so now we're getting into the aggressive, yeah. So you can go all in. That's wild, man. Fucking hell. It's just instantaneous as well. My God. Professional retouchers must be in shambles right about now, man. Or all professional retouchers are like, yeah, this is great, and they just use this, and they can just do, 10 times the amount of work? Yeah. I thought Jamie said it takes him a while to do retouching. What the hell's he doing? Yeah, that's crazy. AI color match. So Jamie says AI color match is great for transporting colors from one image to another. Use it all the time, and a recent update enables you to fine tune it even with color correction in the panel. Where is that, Jamie? That I'm not going to do it today. I make a tit of myself. But you're talking about color correcting images across a series, right? Where is that function here? Yeah. You got to watch out between the blemish removal panel and the frequency separation panel. Yeah, that's right. I saw this down here. I didn't realize it was 2 separations there. So you can really, and there's even a skin smoothing in general. So you can go all the way. Yeah, you can go all the way with it. I kind of think frequency separation off. That's cleaning up some of the artifacting there. Yeah. Catch wants to do some blemish touch up now. I heard that, Twix. Is it part of Capture One, like in general? Is it just like a skin smoothing thing? Is it kind of doing what this is doing? Is it doing it on the fly? Can it work on the raw itself? And then when you export that raw, that data is locked in. Yeah, I did hear somebody saying about Capture One has it now. Maybe so don't use presets. I manually change them depending on the subject and then sync the rest of the series. Okay. So you're just going in, the kind of look you're after. I think it was Danny earlier on that said it takes a little bit of time to find your style with it. Yeah. And so I can just go, if I go, yeah, this is banging. Like this is the preset I want to use every time. So I can save mine. And that's in there. Oh. How do I save that preset in there then? I presume you can do it, yeah. The bottom, maybe something like that. Save preset, there you go. The big flashing button. Yeah, there we go. Something they can say. And you can choose what you want in there. So you save the group, preset combination, boom. Preset saved in there, bang. Simple enough, right? Simple enough. Okay. So you got we got skin tone here as well, which is kind of wild. Oh yeah, nice. You can actually bring some of that cooler color back in. Damn. Okay. You can dial that back. Nice, okay. Yeah. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, right? The facial... Yeah, Jesus Christ. Chin taper. What, like, for an old fuck like me, what I find so impressive is to how responsive this is. Yes, I know I'm working on JPEG, but still, like, yeah. Teeth floor removal. Oh, because it's blue, so it's like, what the hell's going on? Teeth whitening. Are you okay? You can. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Okay. Like, it's deep, man. Yeah, it's deep. Okay. Doing these presets manually. Yeah, I just create manual presets per session and apply them in bulk. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Said, yeah, they're updating it frequently. Very much appreciate. That's right. I mean, it's great. Like this, I think this has come a long way. Yeah, I think this has come a long way since we tested it. I mean, it might not even be a year ago when we last tested this. This is wild. This is crazy to me as to how quickly that is. How quickly you can get in there. Yeah, I don't think I could bring myself to cheat like that. But maybe. You can call it cheating, but I can still use all the techniques in Photoshop after I did the look. It's true. Yeah, and it burnt me out. I should have used Evoto in time lapse ever since. Fair enough, man. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think the other uses Evoto to cheat. Under skin tone, you can also find AI Unify, which is also handy. After skin tone, we had that there a second ago, didn't we? Oh, what does that do? Is that just kind of making the same tone on the body? So if the head and the collarbone is a different color, sort of thing, like with makeup and that sort of thing, it kind of tightens it up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Unified skin tone is another lifesaver, especially. So I get somebody else talking about unified skin here. Yeah. Here we go. Is this it here? Unified skin tone here. Yeah. Unified skin complexion. Okay, so trying to lighten it up. Okay, probably more pronounced on white people, right? Where you can see like they have like maybe redness in the skin but not on the face. Yeah. Unified skin. The Capture One retouching is okay-ish, but not to the level of Evoto is. Yeah, I mean it's probably early days though, right, Graham? I mean probably it'll get there. Yeah. Jamie says he tried the Capture One retouching the other day. Doesn't touch Evoto functionality. Fair enough. Yeah, save the preset bottom right. Save preset. Evoto has more features than a character creating a game. That's true, man. That's true. You remember those, man? I spend more time than I should on those things, man. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just be careful on the updates. I was doing a commercial job and they updated it, and it messed up the hair mask. They had to hotfix it after I got in contact with them. So, talk me through that, Jamie. So you. That's crazy. So you were working on a job. So you working on the jobs in the cloud? Because these images are on my system. So were you working on the jobs in the cloud? Because I think I saw, do you want to upload them to the cloud here a minute ago? And was that why the images changed in the cloud? So would you recommend working on the images only on your system because of that? Yeah. On my system, and it still changed the mask. Interesting. So you think that the mask was kind of being generated when you opened up the image again? Yeah. To my contacts. Okay, but and they helped you out there? Yeah. Fair dues. All right. Yeah. So here we can come in. I quite like this dodge and burn thing. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. You definitely got to bring this back a little bit, I think. But it does a good job with the eye bag there. It works it out. It does a good job. Like the eyes look very, very natural, right? And again, like look at the necklines there. I think, look, I'm really impressed. I think what used to happen was that they just used to remove everything, and it just used to look like a Barbie doll type thing, right? But they've really dialed that back. Granted, we're using a preset, and I'm sure if you wanted to, you could crank it and, you know, remove it if you really wanted to. But it seems like a lot of these presets are coming in fairly realistic, right? Yeah, which is good. So here we've got an image which is like pretty tricky, right? I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on the face here. Freckles, some hairs and stuff. A lot of shine. I personally love the shine. We've got just a couple of lines there, but nothing crazy, right? I mean, this is just unretouched. So let's see what we get here. So natural. What the? That's fucking wild, man. That is crazy. I don't know how you live with yourselves. I don't know. I can't believe you guys look me in the eye every stream like nothing's happening. That is crazy. Okay, so this young lady here has been photographed by a lot of people, and she has a lot of images on her profile, and I'm starting to understand why I didn't know that she had freckles in her images. I don't think there's an image on her profile where she's got freckles. So everybody's just using this app. Let's have a look. So we got freckles here. Let's bring it back. Oh shit! You can bring them back. Yeah. Okay. So we got freckles and acne up here. So yeah, so it does all its, yeah. That's impressive. I would say that's a tricky image. For one, it's like a really weird angle for the system to kind of work out what's going on. There's very strong lighting on it. Crazy colors all over the face here. Yeah. I've actually retouched this image already. Let's have a look. It's on external hard drive. God damn it! I was gonna see how it compared. Let's have a look. So now look, we spent 30 seconds, right? We spent 30 seconds. We spent 30 seconds getting here, and I'm sure there's more I could do in here. But you know, like Jamie was saying, how long it takes to do the retouching in Photoshop. I mean, this is probably, I don't know, got to be 40 minutes. Got to be a 40-minute retouch, right? But you know, look, that gets you a lot of the way there. Yeah, it gets you a lot of the way there. Even the redness on the hands and stuff here. Actually surprised at the coloring it's done. It's kind of done some okay coloring, considering how awkward the lighting is in that. It's impressive. Yeah. So again, right, so similar thing with the freckles. you bring back. It's interesting the way it does the freckles. It kind of just chooses some and goes, yeah, these are the ones you want. Yeah. That's impressive. It is. Like you gotta remember how quick it is. It's just instant. And like some of you guys are saying in chat here, I'm just using the presets that come with it right out the gate. Where you guys are saying that, and Danny was saying, and Jamie's saying, they're using their own kind of looks. They're trying to find their own thing with it. Trying to find something that works for the types of shots that they shoot, right? Because my skin smoothing might be different with the amount of colored lighting that I use versus somebody who is doing is using just regular white background stuff, right? Yeah, I mean that's like for one click, that's pretty damn clean, right? I think we could probably ease off on that a chunk, but still. For one click, it's pretty believable. And again, like a lot of this from where it used to be completely just gone. Whereas this is very much keeping the remnants of realism underneath. They just knocked it back, right? Taking the opacity down on it a lot, which is good. Yeah. There was some kind of conflict. Oh yeah, just get help at the top left. Click what's new. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think it's been updated today. The version 7. Tony, is that you? Old horse? Can Evoto auto crop a set of images? I think so. I think it can do in the library thing. Or when you say auto crop, or do you mean just like keep? You mean look at a set of images and keep the face filling a third of it? Is that you mean something like that? Was expecting to see actual removal tools in Evoto, but they're actually doing it. Give us some time, and you won't even need Photoshop. I think it's coming a long way. I think it's coming a long way. Yeah. 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 A whole new world opened up to David J. Yeah, wait till Jake starts playing with the makeup effects, all the brushes. Where are they then? Are they down here somewhere? We got dogs. What we got? Clothing. Background adjustments. Portrait. Where's that makeup stuff then? Clothes and accessories is not in there, right? Is it makeup down here? Hands, hair, makeup. There we go. Oh, you can see it adding shape. So just burning in the cheeks and stuff there to give it extra depth. Yeah. Oh, darken the eyebrows. Interesting. Oh, add the makeup. There you go. You fuckers, man. You've been just cheating the whole time. I don't know. You live with yourselves. Hey, get up in the morning. Look yourself in the mirror. It's crazy. This is what you've been doing. It's a lot, man. There is a lot. Jeez. I mean, you spend enough time in here, you may as well just retouch the image. Yeah, that's nice though, man. It's clean, right? It's clean. Yeah. Knock back that saturation. Dimensionality, so dodging down the lips as well. Makeup sweet. What the fuck are we talking about? Okay, we're getting a bit freaky now. Okay, yeah. Again, like just instantaneous, right? Just instantaneous in there. Like you're not waiting for anything. Fill that in there. Volume. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I sometimes do that as well. Pump that up. Oh, reduce the forehead. Nice. Straight hair removal. Okay. Oh, it takes a while to update. My bad. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, it's on the inside of the face. Yeah, nice. So within the figure. That's cool. Okay, yeah. Beyond figure. Yeah, so it's on the outside. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about the hair color one, but yeah, yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Makes fucking what's it like? Has Evoto means more time per photo. Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. Character creation tool. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? You got all the different sculpting widths and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. If you're wondering, the previews in Evoto are 300 pixels but are exported at original resolution. Ooh, good shout, Jamie. Thank you for that. So what Jamie's saying there is that what we're looking at in here when we're zooming in is 300 pixels, right? 3000 pixels, sorry. But it will export at the original pixels that you brought it in as. Yeah. So there's a couple of things going on here with the in some of these images we've had the Evoto logo here. I think they've been pretty generous in that they've kept it off the face, right? They've kept the logo off the face for when you're actually doing the retouching. So the way that Evoto works, right? Let's have a quick chat about pricing, right? How this works, because the way that they've given me this account here, they give me some credits here, which is like not many credits, but every image you export when you're happy with it uses 1 credit, right? That's the way I understand it. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So boom, here we go. So okay, so Evoto pricing, annual subscription. So you got to pay typically £200 a year. This is pounds, right? Pounds a year, £17 a month for the most popular one here, and you get 3,600 credits. So credit-free features only available for Evoto desktop and version 6 and above. Discover the special features that won't consume credits. Okay, so what you're saying is there are certain functions in there that we could use in the Evoto program that wouldn't use credits on export. Okay, support for 3 devices, support for 4 devices, credits roll over with subscriptions. Okay, so on this one, so for £9 a month, you get 1,600 credits a month or a year. That's a year, so you get 1,600 credits a year. Okay. All right, and then if you run out of credits, what do we got here? So if you're on the basic plus plan, you can get your credits for half a penny each. If you're on the £9 a month plan here, you can get your credits for 0.7 pence each, if I'm understanding that correctly. So you're buying an extra 200 credits here, is 15 quid. Okay, so they're not cheap when you buy them separately as these low-level packets here. Yeah. Okay, so they're not cheap if you go over. So you really are better off if you think you're going to be close to it. You really are better off getting a higher package, because if you go over your credit amount, it gets pricey. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I mean, it's a powerful tool. I mean, if you're using it, if you're doing a couple of shoots a week or something like that, it becomes viable. How many images are you knocking out of it? Let's say, I don't know. Let's say you shoot 1,000 images, maybe 5 sets, maybe 5 images from each of the 5 sets. You got 25. you could be knocking through 50 credits. How many credits do you think you need a month? I mean, Christ, every time you do any adjustment in Photoshop, right? Every time you do like a generative fill, it uses 1 credit, and you get what do we get? We get 250. Us basic folk, we get 250, right? But that's every time you do one adjustment in Photoshop. So put that into perspective. So you could rattle through 10, 15 credits in a single image in Photoshop, right? So how many credits we get? 1,600 there on the cheap one, divided by 52. Okay, look, on the cheap one here, you get 1,600 credits. That's 30 images a week. Like for those people not doing it professionally, that's plenty. I would say, and unless you're doing, like, if you're doing a wedding, sure, it's different, right? It's different. If you're doing a wedding and you're knocking out 800 to 1,000 images a week, sure. But the amount of time that's going to save you during a wedding is insane. Yeah. So just over 30 credits a week, 52 weeks in a year, 1,600 credits. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Let's have a look. Some of the large freckles think so. Moles, yeah, could be, 6 hours on Fallout. 6 hours is light work, mate. Light work. I don't think you're not taking it seriously unless you dedicate an entire session to it. Like you buy the game, dedicate the first session to sorting out the character, and then the next day is when you start the game. Unless you're going to take it seriously, I'd just not even bother. Like it's the least you could do. Check on the head icon, go down to the makeup country, clothing tools, amazing it works. That's right, we played with that before, the previous version with the wrinkles and stuff. I don't think I've got any wrinkles on the clothes here, but yeah. So like Grabs is saying here, clothing wrinkle clothing tools used on portrait headshots. Yeah, bottom left of the image you can see it working, changes every time you adjust. Gotcha. You can also adjust eyeshadow, eyebrows, contact lenses. Christ, yeah. No blonde or white hair. Didn't it? It must have had. What the fuck? Really? Oh yeah. Interesting. I didn't notice that. Yeah, weird. What's this? The closest we can get to blonde? So no. You can do it per month, annual, pay as you go. I do pay as you go, as I don't have volumes justified paying annually. Okay. So when you say pay as you go, let's have a look. Okay, so this is what Jamie's talking about here. So he just buys a pack. So you've already got the software, Jamie. Like, is that right? So you can download the software and then just use the credits whenever. The software doesn't cost you anything. So you can just buy these 139 quid for 1,200 uses. Credits valid for 2 years. Nice. I was wondering how long they were valid for. So that's cool. Okay. But that gets you the software, right? That gets you the software for sure, right? Must do. Yeah. Also, I believe if you export the same image twice because you want the correct something and use one token. I did a little quick Google. I saw people complaining about that. It's nice to hear that sounds according to you, they've kind of fixed that, which is cool. Everything's rolling for 2 years for the plans, which is nice. Yeah, apparently there are a couple of mine have used up another credit. Yeah, I have seen people saying that. I think they may have corrected that recently, so maybe. It's buyable software, credit model available but not needed is Retouch for me. Okay. I buy 800 all the time. Okay. So Danny, you're saying you kind of get the smaller pack, and then but you're not paying you're not paying a monthly fee to use the program, or you are? How does this pay as you go work? Like you can just, like, as soon as you've downloaded the software, you can just buy credits and that's it. You don't need to subscribe to the software. I'm doing the conference, so 200 headshots to each. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I can see for bigger. I don't shoot that stuff anymore. Like, yeah, if I get 15, if I get 15 images at the end of a full photo shoot, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, as in, you know, commercially. I mean, not just like if I get 15 I like. No. Yeah. Yeah. The situation with Adobe is getting out of hand with the credits. Gripes it is. I will say I didn't realize I kind of ran out the other day, right? I was using, I don't know what I was using it for. I don't know where I was using it, and it just said you're out of credits. I'm like, how did I get through 250? Maybe extended a background here and there, and I had a busy start to the year or something like that. I was doing a bunch of images, and yeah, ran out. Yeah. Now you can buy, like, I think, like, it's not expensive, but they want you on a subscription model, right? They want you on a subscription model for the credits, and I think it was like, I think it was like 10 quid for, it might have even been 2,000 credits or something like that. They want you on that subscription. That's what they want you. Yeah. Yeah. Denny says, I use Aftershoot to Carl. Oh yeah, we reviewed that as well. That seemed okay. It does retouching. It's not as good as skin retouching. Yeah, no, the retouching was nowhere near like to this level, but crushes it with editing images, bulk. Software doesn't cost anything to export. The image does per image, per credit. So it's purely just exporting that costs you. Otherwise, you can play around in the software. Wow, that's good stuff. So you don't need to actually subscribe to it. So if you're not, so if you don't use it for a month, then Jamie, it doesn't cost you, right? Is that what you're saying? I know I'm doubling down on this. It just seems like hard to believe that that's the case. Yeah. I mean, if I don't use Photoshop for a month, I get billed. No monthly fee. When I see it get low, I just buy more. There you go. That's what Danny says. No monthly fee. Yeah. So you guys, so a lot of you guys are not doing the subscription models. A lot of you guys are just doing the pay as you go. Danny, you're rattling through a lot of images, mate. I don't know. You save some money over here. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So if you're not using it, you don't pay for it. Okay. Started in 2024 using it. I bought Black Friday sale. Did the same 2025. Got a pretty good deal. So you guys buy a bunch of credits on Black Friday. Okay. It only take me an hour to edit 400 images in Evoto. It does it in bulk. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So when you're doing images at that volume, Danny, it's and you just like set it to go. Does it set overnight, or can you go get a cup of tea and it takes about 40 minutes, or like does it, when it's doing all that process, you go, cool, that's the preset for Jim and Jodie's wedding, locked in, apply it to 1,000 images. Like, how long would that take to then export them? Like, is it super quick, or is it something you got to do overnight? Or yeah, I ran out of Adobe credits too and was very frustrated. It's a pain, yeah. I mean, for a long time, Gripes, you couldn't even buy additional ones. They just weren't ready for it. Yeah. So when it happened to me earlier on, I kind of did it. And we can have a look here a second, I think. Do not open my mail. Thank you. Fuck. So where is it? Up here? Yeah, so buy more. So I got, 16 left, right? So buy more. Premium credits, content generation. Learn more about generative credits. Buy. So there you go, right? So this one over here, like the cheap one, is 2,000 credits, 10 quid a month. They want you on that. They want you on that monthly thing. They want you in that. So they give you a bunch of credits, but so you can buy more. Yeah. Not expensive, but it's a pain in the ass. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Danny says he edits all the females first and then edit all the men. Interesting. That's clever. Yeah. Use your GPU for processing better than GPU quick export. Yeah, exactly. So Jamie's saying, again, because it's done on your system, it's actually pretty quick. So the speed is dependent on your system rather than waiting for a queue in an online cloud system or something like that. Yeah. I can set up a booth, so I deliver around 500 images. I sync with a preset, tweak them a bit, and then export them maybe once or twice per year. Okay. I just shot a belly down, so I did every image in Evoto I was showing on your page. Okay. Yeah. Okay. A lot of people in chat using it. A lot of happy customers already. I mean, this has come a long way since when we tested it a year or so ago. In my opinion. Is it going to be as comprehensive as doing it yourself in Photoshop? No, but you can get, I mean, pretty much, come on, 90% of the way there with a single button click. You know, so for that extra 10%, you really got to work for it. So it's up to you as to whether you think that's worth it for you. Look, I think for for me and my workflow, like I said, I'm not dealing with high volumes of images anymore, thank God. I'm really dealing with a handful of images from each shoot. We're just looking for absolute hero images from sometimes, a day's shoot, and you may only, and the client may only want 3 shots, 1 shot sometimes, right? Completely different. Completely different. I think if you are processing any volume at all, very viable, like crazy how, and so responsive and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, and you guys in chat, like, there's stuff we haven't even looked at with the clothing and all that sort of stuff as well. You could just go on and on and on. Background adjustments, and masking, all that sort of stuff. Very, you've got a lot in there. Yeah. So okay, so what do they send to me then? Let's have a look. So they sent to me, if anybody's interested. So Evoto, let's see, this evening, claim a link. This is the link they gave me. So if you guys want, if anybody's interested, then if they don't have it and they wanted to check it out, they can check it out via this link here. And I think that if you want to check it out, you got 15 free credits in there, right? So if you just like, do you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's try it out. No fee. You get 15 free credits in there. You can see your credits up here. Yeah, up here, right? So you can put them in there. If you like, you also share this code, which offers 20% discount on credit packages, 50% on annual subscriptions. Boys, when have I let you down? Hey, when have I let you down? Hey, I mean, I can't do more. I didn't actually realize this is all starting to make more sense now, because they sent me the email and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll have a look. This is all starting to make more sense now. So that code will get you. Did she say 20% off? 20% on credit packages, or 15% on. Okay. Hey, you guys owe me some money. Come on. If I see any of you at the photo show, I'm expecting a beer. That's it. I don't make the rules, guys. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And remember, I don't get any money for it, right? I explicitly said don't have any link backs, so they don't hate me. Yeah. So okay, that's cool. Actually, that's actually pretty generous of them. It's pretty cool. Okay. I don't know how long you can use that code for. Yeah. I don't think it would be indefinitely. So if you were thinking of getting it, I would probably grab them. I doubt it would be indefinitely. In the email she said this evening, but that was yesterday. So I'm hoping that she didn't get confused with when I was doing it. So hopefully, yeah. If you're thinking about getting it, I would use it sooner rather than later in case it goes, right? So thank you to Evoto for sending that out. And hopefully you guys use that. That'd be pretty cool. Decent bit of kit. Yeah, decent bit of kit. I do some mentoring with people, as you guys know, a lot of it online. And one of the things that people are always grumbling about is the retouching, right? I don't do the retouching. I don't want to do the retouching, and I don't do it. And there's just no excuse now. There's just no excuse for that. I don't think, for the amount of time that would save you. Very, very, very reasonable. Yeah, very reasonable. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we covered that. That's come a long way. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to look at is Reblum. So this is completely different, right? I mean, it's still doing skin smoothing, but it's completely different. It's like Evoto is a huge piece of software that we've just gone through, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface of what that can do. Reblum is just a simple plugin that you can either use standalone or you can use it in Photoshop and Lightroom. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's see what we got here then. I think I've just got it as a standalone piece of software. So boom. Okay, so let's open these fellas up. Same again. Bring them in. Let's see what we got. So this is the thing here. Ooh. Let's make sure we can see everything here. Okay, so like bare bones, right? Real bare bones. Can I bring in? Interesting. So let's zoom in here on the skin here. So super basic. We've got natural, remove main imperfections here, or we got fashion for more glossy look, and then we've got fine tune, which is general, texture, and then tone, and then we've got quality. So just in terms of, I presume, the refresh there. So super basic, right? But similar to what we used to before. So we've got the general. We can kind of knock it back. Texture, a little bit, tone. Not too much there. Again, might not, because it may be the fact that it's not the skin tone, right? We'll pull up Gripes' images in a minute, and we can have a look, because his is like normal skin tone. So again, this software uses I was just warming it up here, so that's definitely warming it up. That's cooling it down. Yeah. So hang on a minute. Some of you guys are using LED lights that you can, what you see is what you get. You're using mirrorless cameras, and you're using software like Evoto. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to the world. It's crazy, man. I don't even know. Like, miracle, you still have to pick up the camera. I think it's crazy. I mean, Sony will sort that out the next one. You probably just give it your schedule, and Sony pops off, takes a shot. So this is okay. This is fine. This is not like nowhere near the same level of dodge and burn that it was doing in the highlights and shadows. Like Evoto was able to work out that we kind of, these highlights and shadow areas needed to be adjusted, filled in with a little bit of burning in here and that sort of stuff. It was able to kind of smooth out the shape of the face and skull and that sort of stuff with the dodge and burn on that. This isn't doing that. This is just working on the skin. Although it does seem to be doing some there. It does seem to be doing some, actually. I do tell a lie. Yeah, it is doing it in there. Yeah. Just keep some texture in there. Okay. Okay. So this one, we got the freckles again here. Let's have a look at this one. Keep the glossy look. So again, that's doing a little bit of highlight and shadow there. Yeah. Okay. Not crazy, right? Not crazy. It's a fairly natural look, though. It's nowhere near as heavy on the freckles as previously, but still better than I was thinking, especially with these darker areas here. Still pretty good. Yeah, let's have a look at the dark skin here, see what we got. Okay, so general. Not too bad, not too bad, yeah. Like, I think for most people, it's probably workable. You don't get anywhere near the control, but it is doing stuff. It's not doing anything down here. It's really just doing the face. So it's doing some bits up here on the arms and wrist. But it's not picking up anything down here outside of the face. So again, you know, doing a little bit of dodge and burning up there just to kind of even out any bumps. Also helping out with the eye bag there. Pretty good. Oh, that's the tone again. Yeah, definitely keep that cooled off. Okay. That's fine, right? It's fine. Again, not touching anything down here on the neck. Like nothing at all down here on the neck. You know, we can crank everything up. I mean, it kind of goes down to here, but it just will not go outside of the face. Okay. So let's have a look. This is full body here, pretty much. Let's see. So everything cranked. So I'm purposely cranking it so that we can kind of see if it's doing anything to the body, but it's not. It only affects the face. Yeah. Okay. Surprising. Yeah, okay. Okay. Limitation for sure. Yeah, limitation for sure. Unless I'm, you know, unless I'm doing something wrong, but I mean there's nothing, you know. There's no settings there I can see. Yeah. So this one in the shadow, it struggles a bit more in this one. Still does a good job with some of those shadows and highlights there. Keeping some texture there. We can just warm it up. Yeah. Okay. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So look, very basic. You know, what you see is what you get, sort of thing. Standalone. You can also use it within Lightroom and Photoshop if you want. I think I saw it in the filter drop down in Photoshop yesterday. So yeah, pretty simple. Obviously not doing anything on the body is, I'm kind of surprised at that. It just focuses on the face and like nothing at all outside of that. Not even on the neck there. Yeah. Let me bring up grabs his files there. What was that one? This one. Let's bring that one in. Yeah. You guys still there? Did I lose you? Yeah, you're still there. Okay. Everybody went quiet. As soon as I turned off Evoto, everybody went quiet. Let's see. Okay, so this one is just a white light. Let's have a look. Pretty good. Pretty clean. Okay. So here it works on the neck and stuff. Yeah. So maybe the colors were throwing it off, but don't know. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's Reblum. Where were we? Here we go. So what's the pricing of that? So this one does two things. There's no credits on this one. It's either, does anybody use Reblum? Has anybody used Reblum or even heard of it before or anything like that? I only mentioned it. I'd only heard of it from one of the guys I work with, Brian. He used it, and I was like, okay, seems to be fine. And then they reached out, and I was like, okay, yeah. So they do a subscription, so either £12 a month, $12 a month. This is dollars. So billed yearly, but that's the monthly fee. Always get the up-to-date version, activation on 2 computers. Okay, so all updates included. So I wonder if that's lifetime updates. Interesting. Yeah. So 250 quid. So $250 again. Yeah. But so they do a one-off, no credits at all, right? So no credits at all on this one. So if you just wanted to buy it, then you're done. So basic stuff, yeah. Unlike other software, may require multiple plugins, complex steps for a streamlined one-click solution. So yeah, like they are trying to do the one-click job done thing. Doesn't look like I couldn't. Maybe you could batch it in Lightroom. I'm just using the standalone app there. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to batch it in Lightroom. Yeah. Again, you can download it. We offer a 7-day trial. If you want to test it out, you can do. There's a difference between natural and fashion styles. Natural styles doesn't strive for perfect skin. It focuses on retaining the photo's natural look. So I guess you could do weddings and that sort of stuff by only removing the most noticeable flaws. Meanwhile, the fashion style aims to create flawless portraits. So if you want to go all in, how to access Reblum, Photoshop, Lightroom, Classic, and Capture One. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of different options there. So we got, as requested, here's a link for the unique promo code that gives you your audience 20% off from Reblum. Okay, 20% off of that. It's worth having. If you're interested. Just a one-off plugin. Check that one out. So yes, you're right. So I asked him a couple of questions. Yes, you're right. Reblum works as a standalone application as a plugin for Photoshop, Lightroom, and Capture One as well. The other key feature of Reblum is works offline without internet connection. Interesting. Does anybody know if Evoto works without an internet connection, or does it need to speak to the mothership? Because how does Adobe do it? Doesn't Adobe you need to kind of plug back in? Isn't it once a week or something, or once a month? Like at first you had to be online the whole time, and everybody obviously lost their mind, quite rightly so. And I think now you only need to sync up to the mothership once in a while, but I don't know. Evoto as a standalone app, I can't imagine that you would need to be online to use it, but I could be wrong. Oh, Grab says you think it needs a connection. Interesting. Obviously, I can't test it, otherwise I'll lose the stream. Otherwise, I would do. I suppose if it's taking credits from your account, then I suppose it would need a connection. Yeah. Reblum has no processing credit. You can retouch a limited number of photos. So yeah. So once you've got that in Lightroom, you can batch process to your heart's content if you're happy with that. All processing runs locally on your computer. Your images will not be sent to the cloud. Our machine learning algorithms do not use users' photos for learning purposes. So what they're saying there is, some people got in the press recently for making, what was it, an AI-driven headshot generator, and people understandably got upset thinking that their images are being used. So what Reblum's saying here is that everything is offline. Everything's done on your system. All users with all license types will always get the latest version of all functions. So that's kind of cool. So like the updates for life is kind of cool. Yeah, it's not often you see that now, to be fair. Regarding a technical question, you are correct. The standalone Reblum application does not support RAW files. So that was the application that you just saw me using. I can't bring a RAW into that. I tried it. However, you can retouch RAW files using the plugin for Lightroom or Capture One, which creates a JPEG copy for processing. We generally recommend using Reblum at the end of your workflow once you've finished a color correction. So, yeah. So you can, it can work on the RAWs in Lightroom and Capture One. It just generates a JPEG for processing. So yeah. So that's that one. If you wanted to check it out, that's the link I just gave you in chat there. It gets 20% off. Check it out. Different beasts, right? Different beasts. You can't really compare the two. Like you really can't. Reblum is trying to be this one button press, move on, get it done. That's their premise. Evoto is going after Adobe's apples, right? And God bless them for it, right? Because Adobe has been king of the coop now for way too long, and nobody's really pressured them. And Evoto is pressuring them, man. It's a serious piece of kit. That's not a plugin. No way. That's a serious piece of software with tons and tons of processing power in there to do almost anything, really. Yeah. It doesn't have all the arty-farty stuff that Photoshop does, but if you're just somebody who's doing portrait retouching, it's got everything you need as far as I can tell. Oh, okay. Well, thank you to both Evoto and Reblum for reaching out and handing out those codes as super generous. 20% off is not to be sniffed at. So feel free to use those codes if you want to. Oh, it was just the PDF they get me of some bits. If anybody's interested, I can. Just kind of going over the bits that we were talking about, the kind of the breakdown bullet points that we went over there. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on any of that? Then let me know. Let me plug off my computer and see. Yeah, do it. When connected in Photoshop, it uses the cloud for selecting subject. Oh, really, Anna? Okay. Anna's talking about Evoto there. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. I don't think I missed any other comments in there. Reblum, only one out after retouched his Portrait Pro 24. Should we play with Portrait Pro? I remember that. Isn't that ancient, that one? Yeah, it looks quite reasonable for a lifetime. Retouching for me is a bit more expensive once you need more than 2 plugins. Okay. I wonder if retouchers are upset. I wonder if retouchers are as upset at Evoto and the like as photographers were about that headshot app. That's very well said, Tic Tac. Very well said. And there was recently I saw some posts like recently from retouchers throwing their toys out the pram about they are struggling. They are 100% struggling. I mean, I used to do a Photoshop workshop years ago, and we always used to sell them out. Nobody's looking for it now. Like nobody's looking for it now. That's fine by me. But yeah, it's not what it used to be with regards to if I was a retoucher, shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I don't know, are retouchers using that? Like, if you're, come on, I mean, that's, like, that is going to be good enough retouching for most people, right? And I'm somebody who's been doing this for over 20 years, 20 odd years, 25 years. So I am going to be nitpicking. Like, that's my job. But most people aren't like that. Like, if retouchers using Evoto to do their retouching and then sending it back to clients, how many of them? I wouldn't be at all surprised if many of them were doing that. But you're right, they are getting teasy about this when it was fine, when it was affecting, when Midjourney was doing all sorts with generative AI and all that sort of stuff, and years ago, and now when it's affecting them, they were like, "Oh, this is outrageous." Yeah. It does require you to log in to open the software. So, Grab, so did you unplug from the matrix, as it were, and you couldn't even open up Evoto? So not only could you not export, but you couldn't open it up without being connected to the internet. Interesting. Okay. All right. Interesting times indeed. I think if I was a retoucher, I would be scared. If I'd opened up that, whoa. I don't know. My concern with it is, right, and this bit probably won't make it into the YouTube cut, but my concern with it is that images will start to look samey, right? Because these guys are all starting to use the same algorithm. Right, a lot of people are using the same camera with the same chip, right? I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying stuff is starting to look the same, right? Instagram, a lot of images are starting to look the same. That retouching style is starting to look the same. So I wonder if it'll kind of burn itself out a little bit. Now, Evoto may well evolve, and they have done. I would say they've made their retouching more realistic. They've knocked it back hugely from where it was a long time ago with regards to how smooth and kind of blurred the skin was. The presets are organic. Yes, you can over smooth it if you want to, but like the presets of where they think you should be, they start off pretty generous. So I wonder if we'll start to see a very samey style. I don't know. Yeah. So Grab says, yeah, I cut off my internet and I couldn't open the software because I couldn't log in. Wow, you can't even open it up and play around. Okay, I thought it was going to stop you when it came to exporting, but that's interesting. You can't even open it up. absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Tic Tac. Yeah, yeah. Only Nikon users will look different. I know, Alan, mate. I know. Like, we got to stand together, stand strong, right? Fight to the bitter end. These average beige photographers. We gotta be on the outskirts. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so let's have a quick look at a setup that I kind of covered earlier on in the week. The top light thing here kind of got some traction earlier on in the week with this. I used the Pavo Slim here, and in fact, these were the images that you saw a second ago, or one of them. And yeah, so kind of talk about that, and then I followed up with this one, which got a lot of traction, which is something that I shot years ago now, and people were kind of asking about it, about the setup and that sort of thing. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity just to kind of quickly go over that, and then we can kind of make that standalone video as well. So this was the setup from last week that I shared, to Technique Tuesday that I shared. Very basic. The principle of it kind of being was that these LED panels are great in terms of shooting from home, right? So low ceiling stuff. So I was talking to Sin at the start of this live stream about how far away the light can be, and LED panels can bring them in super close, have that very fast drop off of light. As a bonus, that also means that you don't need as much distance behind the model or above the model if you're shooting with a top light. So here I'm using an example with a strobe and a softbox. Obviously you can't do it. This is a 2.4 meter room, which is pretty standard in Europe, or especially in the UK. So home studios and that sort of stuff. Here with a panel, tons of room, right? So that's what the premise of this article was about. Was really kind of talking about these top lights, how much space they take up, and how we can kind of get around that with these new panels that are coming out. Okay. So the other article that people were kind of asking about was similar with regards to these, light above, light from below, and that sort of thing. And I'd actually forgotten how I'd shot this. So this is kind of interesting, because we see here, when I found this on my website, I was like, what was going on there? Yeah, so I've forgotten how I did this, but it does kind of make sense, because I was curious at the time as to how I managed to avoid clipping the reds on the floor. When I was looking at the images, when I shared them again, like I said, I shot this a couple of years ago, right? So I'm looking at this going, it's beautiful tones here, not clipping the reds, they're dropping off beautifully up the body. I'm looking at it going, yeah, I don't know. And so apparently it was done with tubes. So again, I'm talking about the light drop off here in this article. Again, LED panels and light drop off, and how flashes emanate from a centralized spot, whereas LED panels spread it over a larger area, which means that you can get those lights close to the subject, therefore faster drop off of light, right? And this kind of, talking about the tubes here as well. So if we have larger light sources like LED panels and tubes made up of lots of small lights, they put out an even wall of light. Compare this to a singular point of light like a flash, which produces an explosion, quite literally, of light from a centralized point. One produces soft and even light, and the other produces hot spots of light. So this is the big kind of learning curve that I think photographers who shoot flash switching to LEDs are kind of overlooking. And I think that it's possible to get some truly beautiful light with LEDs that kind of just literally weren't possible with flash previously, right? So this is a setup that I've got here. So essentially what I've got is I've got a Rotolight EOS in there. I've built this this kind of light box, which I'll show you in a second, and then I've got tubes around the model at her knees, essentially. So here you go. This is the setup, right? So EOS is in there. I've built this kind of light tent above, channeled, and then that's what it's doing. And then this is the thing, this contraption that I built above. So yeah, this is the frame thing that I made for it, and really all this is doing is this is before I had panels, LED panels. So with the Pavo Slim, you could probably get away without doing this. So I'm using the Rotolight, and then which is still a panel, but it's small compared to the longer Pavo Slim, right? So I still was trying to spread the light quite quickly, and the only way to do that is with several layers of diffusion, right? So I'm layering up this diffusion, and then I'm putting this black tint over it to keep it controlled, especially in a like low ceiling. You might be able to see here, right? So very, very soft light from above and kind of channeled through this black tint above it, okay? Which results in this beautiful drop off of light. Just beautiful drop off, right? Not clipping, but just falling down the body, just gorgeous. And the tubes are doing the same thing on the floor here, just creating this beautiful kind of warm glow from beneath, which is very difficult to do with flash because you're a centralized point. You can't put the flash far enough away, and you could have her up on toolboxes and that sort of stuff, and you could probably emulate it like that. But if she sat down here in like a normal studio, it's very difficult to get that quick drop off, right? Because these tubes are just out of shot, right? Which means that they're going to be giving this very even spread all the way around, and then it's going to drop off very quickly, right? So when I say drop off, I mean drop off to shadow quite quickly, right? So that's how I was able to create this beautiful, just beautiful light. Yeah. Ironically, at the time, this was when I was organizing the exhibition in Paris, and they saw these images and they were like, we want to swap out some images. We want these in it. Like, they immediately like kind of grabbed them. I remember it. They literally, they were being shown there before they'd been seen anywhere else. But beautiful, beautiful light. And Sim, when I was talking to you earlier on about these Rotolights and how you're able to get this gorgeous drop off, very, very soft, beautifully soft. I think they're worth persevering with. I really do. Yeah. Yeah. Again, the tubes is kind of a clever workaround. I actually show you like the problems with doing it with a softbox. Like, you can do it, but you're gonna get the caught with that kind of hotspot in the middle. And again, just doubling down on how the hotspot is going to be brighter in the middle and then have less drop off here. So I'm just kind of simulating the results. Yeah. 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 If I could give any new photographers any tips at all, is to shoot BTS of everything you do, right? You don't have to share it, and ideally you want to shoot BTS on the camera that you shot the actual shoot with, right? Don't just shoot it on your phone, because they're not going to be paired up, right? I cannot tell you how many times over the decades I've done a shot and gone, did I shoot that? Because when I saw this, I was like, that's a good idea. I was like, God damn, I'd totally forgotten that's how I shot that. I was like, I'm going to have to try that again, because it's super effective, super effective. So yeah, make sure you shoot BTS of all your setups. You don't have to share it with anybody. Do not share it with anybody. Keep it to yourself, absolutely. But ideally shoot it on the camera that you shot the actual images on, so that you have some way of keeping track of all the different hundreds of lighting setups that you'll have done over the years. Yeah, because trust me, I still get asked about certain setups that have been lost to the annals of time. So yeah, beautiful shots. Love the shots. Really happy with how they came out. Obviously, this model is perfect for it. Seda is absolutely perfect for it with her practically white platinum blonde hair here. But yeah, look at that DIY softbox. Love to see it. Love to see it. Importance of having BTS. Absolutely, Gripes. 100%. Yeah, would that setup be possible with Flash? So hopefully some of the things I've just gone over there, and I maybe put that right at the start before I read the comments, but hopefully that what I've kind of covered there helps a little bit. Maybe if you were doing this with Flash, maybe you could put a beauty dish in here, because those beauty dishes have those diffusion cones, right? So like you'd have your strobe here, right? And then you'd have your beauty dish on it. Here, the diffusion cone in the middle is going to help to break up that hotspot. So it could be worth trying it. But yeah, just using a regular softbox is not going to give you the same results. It's just not. You can get close. But if you want this beautiful drop off, you've got to find some way to spread that light evenly and get it close enough to the model without it being in shot, so that it drops off very quickly. Yeah. Jake is building himself a softbox. I know, right? I know. Yeah, that's it. You need a proper softbox. None of these crappy ones that you buy at the store. You need a proper one. I need 8 layers of diffusion minimum. I genuinely think that could be folded back 4 times. That is, I have, you can still see the hotspot there, right? But I've tried to spread it out as much as possible. I'm sure those stains are. best not to ask. Yeah, best not to ask. But yeah, so hopefully that kind of answers some questions I got this week or last week, whenever it was, over the weekend, whenever it was, when I shared these images, which seemed to be very popular, and glad that they were. Yeah. So satellite 3D reached out and said to check out the latest version of Satellite. Who has version 3 of this software? Because you guys know that I've been using Satellite 3D since it came out, like since version 1 a million years ago. Super useful for me in terms of education and training. It helps to kind of show setups and all that sort of stuff. I use it on every shoot, and commercially or not, whether I'm shooting for myself or I've got the lighting diagrams on my phone when I'm just shooting for myself, or if it's a commercial gig, then I have a special sheet, if you like mood board sheet that this goes onto, and that gets sent to the client, and everything's signed off so that everybody knows exactly what we're shooting on the day, and the lighting diagram is part of the thing that is signed off. Right, this is what we're shooting. Everybody's happy. This also gives us an idea of the kit that we need, the space that we need, tries to reduce any kind of issues or problems that may arise when you just turn up on the day, right? Love this thing. Phenomenal piece of software. Now, version 3's just come out, and it seems extremely powerful with a lot of added features, specifically for video. Seems to be one of the keys, right? So they got a lot of animations and that sort of stuff in it. I think for us, it's going to be beneficial for atmosphere, right? So we can introduce kind of haze and fog and all that sort of stuff, which will give us a better understanding of how certain light's going to work in certain atmospheres. So there's going to be depth to these images. Obviously, we can build outside sets as well, which is really cool. Looks like there's more customization of all the sets themselves. Looks like there's way more options in terms of light shapes. I don't know whether we can customize the light shapes that we can actually build into circles and manually adjust the length of tubes and all that sort of stuff, but it seems extremely modular, very customizable. So interested to check it out. I think we'll dedicate a stream to it in the future. They just sent me email last night. I need to kind of open it up and dig through it. I haven't even tried it myself yet, so we'll have to see. But yeah, if anybody's used it, if anybody's got the upgrade, let me know your thoughts on it. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah, look, volumetric lighting. That's cool, man. That is cool. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff in there. This looks like a huge update. Yeah. They still got all the old strobes in there. It's interesting where you can build environments as well. So you can kind of give these HDRI maps. So you can have your outdoor shoot, and then you can go, okay, we're going to do it at dusk or midday and that sort of stuff, and you can plan that as well, which is really cool. Yeah. Not seeing. Oh, we got a couple of the hot lights here, which is new. Not seeing any new shapes. The same tube they had. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to have a look. Look forward to jumping in. Something to try if your softbox has an inner diffusion layer. Make a circle out of aluminum foil and glue it to the middle. Some beauty dish softboxes kind of technique. Yeah, I've done. I did a whole article on that, Leo, and it does help a little bit. I tried it with ND gels as well, stacking up ND gels to try and match the, like, reduce that hotspot, you know, with ND gels. And I would say that, to your point, that I would say the tin foil in the middle was probably better than the ND gels, because you needed to be spot on with each individual softbox, whereas with the amount of ND gels that you used, whereas the tinfoil was pretty quick. And yeah, like you're saying, I just wrapped it around the inner diffusion. It did help. Yeah. I think I did. What was it? I was typing around the microphone. That's my excuse. Yeah, so what Leo's talking about here is trying to emulate the beauty dish. I tried it with ND gels and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I tested it with tinfoil in there as well. It's not going to be the same as LED panels, but it does help it. Yeah. So we can see it's brighter here, whereas here we can see it's more even. Yeah. So Grapes has got 2.5. I don't even know what mine is. 2.5, yes, the one I've got, yeah. Do you automatically get version 3 of your pre-version? No, you don't, Trevor. No, you don't. I think you have to buy the upgrade. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that, like, the full version, as in version 3, you got to pay for. As with version 2, we had all the upgrades for version 2, but are you already a satellite user? Here we go. Oh, I just wanted to look at the prices. So it's going to be cheaper than that. I don't have my login details. I can't remember what it is on this browser, but yeah. So it's going to be cheaper than to buy it from brand new. So it's probably not going to be expensive at all. Actually, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I'll certainly find out though. Okay. Right then, let's have a look at some images. Because it's getting late. I did not realise it was that late. That's my bad. That's my bad. I don't think we've got too many images to go through, so that's cool. We've got 8, 9, 10. Christ, it's 3 hours already. That's crazy, guys. Yeah. That's Evoto. I thought we were going to knock through that in 2 minutes, but it had more features than I thought. So let's have a look at the share a shoot here. Just give this a quick refresh, make sure there are no latecomers. This is actually a light week, so that's good actually, because we're running late, so that's good. Got 2 minutes to get through. It's all good. We've got some good ones though. So Alan, loving this. Strong final color as well by the looks of it. So playing with gobo to add some mood into the 2-light setup. Yeah, nicely done, Alan. I would say that sometimes with the gobos it can look like fake. Do you know what I mean? They're just stuck on in the background, and I hate that. I just think it looks terrible. And there's so many YouTubers who will teach you a technique, and it just looks like a technique rather than a finished photo, right? And I think what we've done well here is you've done well to integrate the gobo. You knock it out of focus. It doesn't look like a gobo. It looks legit, right? It looks like it's supposed to be there. So I think you've done a good job of that. I done well with 2 lights here though. I would say ease off on this hot light back here just a little bit, because obviously we want the main focus to be the face here. We don't want this blown out bit here. I would probably ease off on this. like probably at least a stop. The other thing to try here, when you've got a light behind like this and you've got this kind of sexy images, you could try using like a lens filter, like a low contrast filter, or even a diffusion filter or something like that over the lens. You get some beautiful flares that are kind of worth playing with, because it'll help to open up these very heavy areas here, because you're only using 2 lights, right? So sometimes a low contrast filter, a diffusion filter, will help to open up some of these shadow areas, because that light will come into the filter and it will kind of add light in here in the final shot. So it'll kind of make it feel a little bit more organic, right? But yeah, cool shot though. Cool shot. Yeah. Beautiful colors as always, Wibbly, good job. Another one from my last shoot with the same basic setup with the previous live submission. I think the colors all work well together. Agreed, yeah. How could I have improved this by introducing my 2 AR2 Pros and the Neo 3 into my shots? Need to book me one-to-one online courses. So what are you using here as the fill light, Wibbly? I forget. What are you using? I forget from the previous shoot. Are you using like a small softbox on the floor? Yeah, but sometimes those fill lights can be a little bit directional as well. See, we got it, kind of dark here, and then it goes into this hot spot, and then it kind of goes darker again. So sometimes the LEDs can help to even that out for the reasons that I've explained. Because again, like with fill lights, you're really limited to where you can put them. They kind of got to be in front of the model, and if they're in front of the model, then that means they're close enough that you're going to start to see problems with the hotspot. Yeah, 2 meter parabolic umbrella. Okay, so having them in there. Have you got a BTS? Was it in the previous weeks? What the fuck did we just open up? Let's have a look. Maybe it's in post then. Wibbly. I'm sure I saw BTS live, couple live stream. I think it was in this one, right? The last live stream. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so sometimes those panels can help to even that out. Could be worth trying. And I'd be interested to see you try it as a key light. The other thing with the Neo is like the little baby one. If you wanted to get into having some light in the background, they're very easy to hide behind the model, and they don't need much space at all. Again, because the light spreads immediately, so it's not like putting a strobe back there that's already like a foot long, and then you have the reflector dish, and then you have this light that's very difficult to spread quite quickly. Even with a wide dish, the Neo spreads light very, very quickly. So you might think about putting it behind the model to spread that light. Just a little. You don't need too much light back there. You've already got light spilling back there, but it could give you a little bit more definition. The other thing is that you may find that you need to do that if you're using an EOS on the face, because it's going to give you more controlled light on the face as opposed to like a big softbox. So that probably won't get as much light spilling onto the background. But you'll start to retain a bit more data in the face without the face being kind of overly bright. Which, like, look, I think this is fine. Like for me, this is a little bit bright, and we're losing some of the data there. Yeah. So I think the LEDs could give you a little bit more control. Is it going to be a little bit fussier? It might be. But I would certainly urge you to play with it. Yeah. Colors though, beautiful as always. Yeah. Orange, green, good stuff. So Robin here. Robin, what are you on YouTube? Are you Twixler on YouTube? Yeah, is that you? It looks like you. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So Robin, hopefully I can make the live stream. I did a 2-day shoot with my friend with about 7 different sets. 1 day strobes, 1 day LED continuous. I joke the trickle of edits over the months. Don't have a lot of free time. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, feel a bit fatigued in how I edit, and also AI has sort of been cast in the shadow of my creative spirit. This photo was done with the last, did an edit pass on. It was pretty minimal. I feel a bit meh about it. Maybe I should have done more cleaning up. There's a lot of talking. I'm curious about thoughts, always open for critique. Okay. So it's interesting, Robin, because so you were in the stream, right? Robin, you saw us playing with Evoto. Kind of interested to see what your thoughts were on that. Yeah, because you're doing. Yeah, I wonder if Evoto would have been able to do what you're doing there with the colors, the color shift. Presumably, you would have done because you're in Capture One there, right? And I mean, pretty much most of the stuff in Capture One in terms of those sliders and that sort of stuff, it's not like you're doing anything crazy in Photoshop. You're still in Capture One, so you should be able to do it in Evoto. Like I said, I mean, as far as I can tell, it's free to play with. It only costs you money if you want to export. And I think that link that I just gave you gives you 15 free exports if you wanted to play with it. Could be worth it. So back to the image then. One thing is to really kind of watch the. I'm just going to check what it was like on the original. Yeah. Okay. So one thing is to ease off on the brightness of these edge lights. I think it's okay here, but also thinking about bringing it slightly further back because we really don't want it catching the end of the nose here. If we've got our background, we've got our model, and then I don't know what you're using back there. Like, what are you using? Like a strip box or a soft box or something like that, or a panel, whatever it is. That if that panel can see the nose, then it's kind of distracting to have it out there. It's just not as clean, right? Then we have these pockets of kind of less than flattering light when it strikes across from the back, right? So it's catching in the lip and that sort of stuff here in the nose. Just by bringing that edge light back a little bit more, right? We can still glance it across the face, but it won't hit the front of the face. Okay, and that will just clean it up. It will just clean. I know we won't have as much down here, but it will just keep it off the front, and that'll help these weird pockets that we have here of this kind of slightly unflattering light. It is a little bit trickier, but once it's kind of back there, you don't need to worry about it. So one other thing to think about with this is it can be a pain in the ass because she's got all her hair raked back on that side and that sort of thing. Sometimes it's going to be unavoidable. So try and work with the pose as well. Either have the pose going one way or the other. She can still look at you, right? But she doesn't have to have her nose towards you. As soon as nose comes towards you with these backlights, we kind of need to just bring them back a little bit. So you could have had it. So you I mean, if you want to keep the lights as they are, you could have her just do that, and that keeps that light off the nose. It doesn't take much, just to kind of pose away from it, and that will just clean it up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, thanks, then. I'll have a look. Yeah. I mean, I use Capture One, like 50% of the Capture One blemish, because I did in Photoshop. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense, though, Robin. What I was saying there with that backlight, and you think you give Evoto a go? I mean, just to kind of see what it could do. It might be worth playing with. It depends if you want to relinquish some of that experimentation that you might want to do in Photoshop. I think Evoto is pretty good if you know what you want, but I think some of these other, Photoshop, Lightroom, and that sort of stuff can be pretty good at showing you things that you may not have seen previously. So yeah. Evoto credits, need to try. Oh yeah, do it. Yeah. Okay. Cool shot though, beautiful colors, and I do like what you did in post. So you can see, so you can see here we've got this like shadow pocket here, the light catching the nose, and we've got the light catching the nose on that side. Just bringing those lights further back. I know it seems kind of counterintuitive of like taking away the sculpting and that sort of stuff, but you really want to be thinking of keeping this whole area of the face quite clean from any other lights, and that'll help this with these kind of pockets of light that we have here as well. But I do
you were trying to correct it in post. So I think you were going the right way in post, but try and avoid it when we're actually shooting. Yeah. I think you definitely did the right thing in post by brightening up that side for sure. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Try to get too close to the backlights and gels require more power. They do, and it's also easier said than done if you're in a small space as well, Robin. I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, it's not easy sometimes for sure. Yeah. From Brett here, hey Jake, obviously this one did not make the cut. Foreshortening, and as you mentioned last time, nostrils. Yeah. But I had quite a few questions. Shot with 100mm macro. I thought these were kind of designed so you did not have to worry about the foreshortening, but it looks like there is some occurring. There's definitely some foreshortening here. Still stuck aware. I don't use macro when I'm shooting beauty. People do. I never do. If I'm shooting beauty, it's like 105, 85, like, and that's kind of given me the best results. So I've never shot macro for. One of the reasons I found that your lens might be different. One of the reasons I found is that with beauty shots, I have the light quite close to the model to get that drop off of light. And with the macro lenses, I found myself being quite close to the subject. And if you're close to the subject, you can start to interfere with the lighting, you know? So I just prefer the slightly longer lenses to not have any issues. But you're right to spot it, yeah. So I'm not sure whether that answers your question, seeing as I haven't spent much time with macro. I'm sure there are other people here have, but I was not impressed with it and just always shot with 85 and 105. Yeah. Nice one, Tony. Tony, are you using Evoto? This is looking retouched by something like that. This is clean though. This is clean. Again, watch these highlights, right? How bright this side light here. I think you've done well with the pose to keep we were talking about the light coming from behind and catching the nose. I think the pose is kind of leaning into that now, which works. So we're kind of leaning the nose towards. So we're keeping that whole one side of the face kind of lit by this light coming from the side. I think that definitely works. We just got to watch the exposure of it. This is definitely, in my opinion, probably at least one stop overexposed on this side. I get it. We want lighting ratios and all that stuff, but we can't sacrifice skin data and texture, by blowing it out. Yeah. Cool colors though. I would probably select the background and just knock the saturation down on this, so like to the gray. So just select the whole background and then just take the saturation down to like 10%, and it'll really make the reds pop then by proxy to the gray behind. This is cool, isn't it? This is cool. 5 light color gradient. I wanted to lean into overlapping mixing colors this one, so I positioned 5 LED lights from model left to right in yellow, red, white, cyan, pink, and purple. Okay, cyan and purple, white and red were in the beauty dish. Okay, interesting. And softbox, while others were vertical LED tubes, and I used lens with a twist optic. Oh, nice. Okay. So only you will know what this looks like in the raw, Leonard, but when we start to mix colors like this on the skin, it can start to get a little bit crazy, and we can see some of the breakup that we've got happening here. And this kind of happens when we're kind of laying multiple colors on the same area, and we can see where the skin is starting to get kind of overexposed here. In these regions where there's probably like no color at all, even though there's probably a lot of color in this shot. It's happened. You are using white in here, which is maybe that beauty dish there. But yeah, kind of clean back here with the yellow and that sort of stuff, and I think it's good. I do, and I think you've retouched it nicely, and I kind of like the lens baby effect that we've got here. It's not that clinical, overly sharp look. I think it's a cool shot. Yeah, I'm just cautious whenever we see lots of different colors all falling in the same area. I think you can do it. I would just try and keep it cell shaded, right? So try and keep certain areas one color rather than them falling on multiple areas. We get these kind of weird effects happening with the muddy tones. Yeah. Beautiful shot though. I love it a lot. Yeah, glad that you didn't have it too dark at the background either. She's clearly, you know, cut out from the background nicely, which is good. Yeah. Lastly here from Edgar, I shot this on the Sony a7R4 with a 24mm lens. 24, okay. Using two Godox 8400s flash and a few filters placed in front of the lens. I was going to say we definitely got something going on here. In here, yeah, this is, you know, a little bit of a low resolution file here. We can see the breakup, but again, we got the gobo here with the colors. This is cool. I think it's good. Yeah, keep it simple, right? Two colors. Using two Godox 80. Yeah, so we got one with the blue and then one with the orange gobo, and then we have the lens filters in front of the lens. I think it's cool. Yeah. I'd be interested to see a higher quality version of this. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what that looks like. Obviously, we've got a lot of breakup here, and I'm guessing that that's just the fact that this is a very, very, very small JPEG that you've uploaded. So yeah, I'd be certainly interested to see a high version of this, Edgar, if you have it. Could be cool. Yeah. Nicely done though, man. Nicely done. There's a lot to be said for this kind of duotone contrast like we've got here. And I think you've done well to keep her picked out with the orange and then having that blue scooting across there, which is a nice touch. Yeah. Again, we can see that blue just catching the nose there, but it's underneath. It's less of an issue for me when it's underneath like that. When it's just catching the tip, it's an issue. Yeah, that's cool though. Very cool. Yeah. All right, guys, we're coming to the end here. Just wrapping it up. I know it's been a long one, so I will start wrapping this up pretty quickly. Just one announcement that I wanted to mention, and that is that I will be doing my first kind of water workshop here in a minute. Let me find it. Here it is. I kind of shared by accident 18 times during the stream. So this is the water shoot workshop I'm going to be doing in July. In the process of sorting out the page on the website, but yeah, July 25th. Going to be doing the water shoots. We've got a bunch of very cool setups that I want to be covering. And this will not be a regular addition to my workshops, just mainly because the water tank is not there all the time and it gets super cold, so we can really only do it summertime. But this will be a cool little kind of, you know, one-off workshop that we can do, which will be good. Plenty of stuff that we can do with color lighting and this tank. All of this is done in camera. There's no funny business going on. All of this is done in camera at the time. Beautiful shots. Really happy with how these turned out. Simone, model here, did a really good job as well. Obviously, these ones we kind of looked at on Instagram. We can do stuff like this as well. This turned out beautifully. I absolutely loved this setup. Really happy with how these turned out. It looked absolutely awesome. And again, like to capture this in camera like this was good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, very, very cool. So if anybody's free in July, wants to come and check that out. Like I said, I haven't announced it yet. So if anybody wants to grab a spot before I announce it, I need to finish up the web page and all that sort of stuff. If anybody's interested, then grab it here first. But yeah, should be a really good day for sure. Yeah. Let's check if we've got any last minute questions for a head out. Voted question you're trying to. Okay, that makes sense. No hand. Okay, I'm not sure what no but hand is. Is that Tony talking about his image? Okay. I think I can do one in 2 weeks' time. I'm shooting in Miami, doing some mentoring in Miami on the 23rd or something like that. I'm not sure where that puts us. So maybe we'll do another live stream in a couple of weeks if I'm not over there. But otherwise, I will be getting some vitamin D, which should be good. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in today. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, buzz me any questions via Instagram and that sort of stuff if you can. That's where I'm going to see them first. Make sure you subscribe and all that business. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.